Night. Gonna have to open up Fortnite. Do 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 do. Hey, hit records on my demo. Do your boys not get the memo? Oh, there we go. Make sure my routing is right. Put the chat, the music, the game, the console, doom, boom, boom, boom. All my sound options should be going well, right? Ah! Okay, that works. You guys hear game sound? What's up, Mick? What's up, Polio? What's up, Dinos? What's up, Wheat? My brother Wheat. How's your days going? Lotto, you too? How's your day going? Community login reward. April 25th through the 26th. Celebrate launch karaoke in Fortnite. Nice. Nice little loading screen. Nice little loading screen. You know? Toxic NA was actually quite a treat, to be honest. I feel like Central was quite a treat, dude. I'm over here looking at it right now. The leaderboard after it's said and done. Man, Acorn and Bolts being in first place kind of surprised me in the moment. Cold and Rapid going down early, opened up, I say early, 26th place, go open up the opportunity for this. All I wanted for this final is casting it, all I wanted for this final is for game 12 to matter. I wanted to wake up and cast 6 games, and that 12th game, us still not knowing who's going to win. You know what I mean? Acorn being first is crazy. Up. You own QK's org? How many people own that? What's up, B-Dog? What are you talking about? Acorn has always been top tier grands, IGL. It's not really. Yep, 3 years in a row. He's looking for the 4-peat. The major 4-peat. We call it Mystical Magic, brought to you by Acorn. And that puts him at 197. Wow. 17-point gap. And then from there, it's 12, so that's 29. And then another 2, that's 31. Oh, my God. Okay. We could have a good tournament on our hands tomorrow. For both first place and the top spot. It's just me and Kronos, if you know who that is. Yeah, I know Kronos. I've known him for a while. That's why I guess I was wondering, you know? Where's West? West games don't start until 6:10 on the clock. We get into replay at 6:15. I just realized my lights aren't on. That's how you know I hopped off the broadcast and immediately hopped on the broadcast. Let's turn on the lights for today. Let's. Woo. Okay, where's the one in the back? Come on. You can. There we go. There we go. It's on now. It's on. What's the pred for West? Honestly, for the first time ever, I have no idea. Because every good team is contested. Bro, Miller time! It's Miller time! It's game time! We live!
Live, baby.
Love you, baby. 4 months? We're basically in a relationship now. A friendship. Kanata, every good team is contested that would or that I think would win. Every good team is contested. Which means we could have somebody that I wasn't thinking. You got Yumi Sauko, Raygun Slixies if they're consistent. Poppy Blast Chicken, don't like their drop spot, but hey, anything can happen. We can't see game mode. How do you fix that? Bro, who? Zane, bro? Zane? Are you in Zane? Thank you, brother. Let's save the voice a little bit. Let's save the voice. We got 6 more games here today. We got 12 games total tomorrow, Central and West. We crown FNCS champions tomorrow. We crown qualifiers for the Major 1 Summit Land. Tomorrow's going to be a good day. What's up, Ryan Tron game day? Any sneak peek, Ryan Tron? 4 minutes before you go into game. What's up? Acorn Coach Yumi. I have a feeling Yumi might take this one. Ooh, yo, brawling with it. Got the scoop. Epic Whale got this. Timco, where's Timco at? They've actually been on top of the leaderboard a few times throughout the course of tournaments. Are they uncontested though? Ooh, against Xeno Zukis. I don't know about that one. Hello, game sound. Fortnite crash. I'm not even using it. It's on in the background. But we're gonna have a good day though. We're gonna have a good day. We got a 7 stream streak by Fear. We got Smurf, 100 bits, Game time, prime time, game time. We got spots for the Summit Land coming out of West, dude. I'm telling you, you guys are gonna feel it, right? Once we get to top 15, you guys need to turn that volume up, max it out, and just get ready. Okay, the game's loaded now. Okay, we're loaded now. We're loading. What's up, George? You hear me downstairs or what? What's my top 5? I don't know. Looking at this drop map, I don't know. Because I would think Vic, Epic, Retro, Pars, those are 4 good teams right there. All of them contested. So honestly, going into it, I don't know. Maybe we got an OC Larkos, Yumi Salco, Raygun, Poppy Blast. I'm trying to think, like, who else? Maybe Scissor? I don't know. This drop map is crazy. Let me tell you that much. Let me tell you that much. Said Dev is gonna love that. He died 30 seconds in. Oh, Central is gonna be crazy. I got what I wanted out of Central. I got what I wanted, and that's a close tournament. I got what I wanted. All you can ever ask for. You know, I don't know nothing, Aizen. I haven't even really looked at Twitter. I was on the broadcast. I got off the broadcast. I made myself a turkey sandwich with chips, and now I'm on here. X-Pawn and Doxy. I mean, they are uncontested. Don't necessarily like this side of the map, though. I don't like this side of the map at all. Contested, uncontested, I don't like it. Unless Zone pulls over here, I don't like it. 4th to 6 is anyone's, not gonna lie. Dude, I think both tournaments are going to be really, really good. I think Central and West are going to be really, really good. I don't think, looking at the drop map, there's too many front runners. We'll see after today, 6 games, but we'll see. How many people behind the broadcast working spectator replays? I don't know the exact number, but I do know they are some of the most awesome people. Hey-Cars won 4 straight FNCS in the new season. Yep, Miller time. Me and Monster were talking about that, honestly. And when they didn't start off doing good, games 1 and 2, I think it was. Wait, what the heck? 11th, 7th, 9th? They're doing way better than I thought to start the tournament. I will say that. Way better than I thought to start the tournament. And then they closed off with the 1st, 4th, 4th. Victor V. See, Kanata and Victor V was my team to win it all. And then I woke up and was like, what is this? You know? I didn't see anything other than my turkey sandwich. I actually had the $4 meal deal from McDonald's for breakfast, actually. So, like, we had a biscuit with sausage, hash brown, and then we had a sandwich. How's everybody doing that? Cops and Suds aren't even a bad team. That's what I'm saying. Everybody good is contested. Chris and Zyro contesting Phoenix and Retro. This guy and Hearn contesting Epic Well and Pump. Cops and Suds contesting Victor V and Kanata. Baka and Pars connected by Snevy and Dark, which Snevy and Dark I think will actually fight too. Paper Victor win. I want to see it, Paper, so like you ain't got to tell me. 12-0 them 100. I don't think so. I don't think they fight every game. Chris is Manny, by the way. Is it actually Manny or is it somebody you guys think is Manny? Chris and Manny are brothers. Manny's brother. Hold up. So is it Manny or Manny's brother? I don't know if you guys know. Being somebody and being somebody's brother are 2 different people. On every region except Manny's and Milwaukee is contested. What do you think is happening? Is it because Clicks and Higgs are a feared duo and don't want to fight? I think for the most part. And maybe they don't want to deal with the outside noise which goes on with contesting somebody that's a big name. The outside noise. I didn't get in. Damn, Ryan. Gangbun doesn't even show after restarting 3 times. Damn. You need to get one of your friends next time to invite you to the lobby. And then from there, you should be able to get it. But that's if somebody actually wants to help you out. What's up, Mike? 7 stream streak, bro. Where you been? What an interesting day of Fortnite. NJC, bro. Can you believe Acorn and Bolts ahead by 1? I didn't expect it, but I'm here for it. Big Bolts fan. NA West, you know what I'm saying? NA West, big Bolts fan. We got at 15 on the clock. So whether if you're East, West, EU, or anywhere else in the world, at 15 on the clock, we will get into the game. We got 3 minutes to wait, probably less than because of the seconds on the clock. We'll be checking out both Victor V, Epic Well, Phoenix, and Baka Pars as our top 4 main fights. And then obviously looking at the chat, who else you guys wanna check on? I mean, is Big Acorn Major 1? Dude, if we get all North zones tomorrow, maybe Acorn wins. I don't know. But then Pete and Veno, both of those teams, I think know you can close the gap with eliminations. Both Pete and Veno know how to clean up a high number of eliminations, so I wouldn't count either one of those teams out either. See, the NJC, I think Cold and Rapid, they're going to do good no matter where the zone goes. Can we get a not a win first game? I'm not sure. We could find out together. Braid's Vigil is going to be a 1x. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm not sure I'm leaning that way yet. Wonky's going to be a good fight. Pred 1. All right, name me the teams. Quick, name me the teams. Right now, I got Epic Pump, Yumi Salco, Baka Pars, Phoenix Retro. Are those good with you, Wheat? I'll do Kanata and Victor V as well. Let's see if it works, because sometimes my predictions be telling me I'm not allowed to run predictions. We're going to do this one, and we'll go off leaderboard after that. There we go. Predictions up. Predictions up. Have a great rest stream. Go, bro. NJC, I love you, brother. Just know I love you, brother. Love the effort. Love the energy. Love the excitement. If anybody puts themselves out there, just know you got my support, man. Hold on. Don't leave yet, NJC. Let me do this real quick. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Did I do this right? Yeah, there you go. You can leave anytime you want after you type next. But, let's get in the game. 1 minute. Less than 1 minute to go. You guys know I tried to do this. I tried to record my facial. Wait, no. Wait, what? Oh, wrong button. Never mind. I have clips. I'm trying to do some behind the scenes content of while I'm casting. E-Clicks can bring back in time. Yes, I can, Seek. I think the last couple of games for Clicks and Higgs were an outlier, and I think they could perform much better than that. That's just my opinion, but take it with a grain of salt. I got it up. Copy paste. Let me get the tweet out. Let me copy paste. And then we're going into game 1 here soon. All right, we're too early. We're seconds early. That's all that means. We're seconds early. Were there any plays that you guys saw on Central that is like, wow, man, that's a good one? Top play of all time? Oh, that's definitely not the code. That was my stream title. Madden? Oh, Madden's actually doing pretty good. Paper off spawn tech, bro. To me, that's normal, bro. People have been falling into fall damage. At least it wasn't in Endgame. At least it wasn't on a free wonky wheel. At least there's a reason for it. All right, we are here. Do we got the double mini map? Yes, we do. Quickly fix that. Thoughts on Clicks? They still have a chance to win. I'm a believer. All right, let's see what the bus path is. Bus path says, watch maybe Baka Pars, Epic Whale, Phoenix, and then we'll take a look at Victor V and Kanata a little bit into the game. Aussie antics, bro. Oh my, but Jesus! Let's go. Make sure you turn that volume up, Aussie. Turn that volume at the end game. Actually, we're going to do the word game here on my stream. Now that I can do the word game on my stream, we're going to do the word game. Zyro Manny, Kanata's there. Actually, we're going to take a quick look at Baka and Pars real quick. I think they're going to touch down first. We're doing the word game. If anybody doesn't know, you're going to know. All right. I wouldn't say it's uncontested by any means, but they are going to split the drop here. South and west. It looks like Retro and Phoenix. Chris and Zyro are going to split that one as well. Does look like Epic Well. They're going to go ahead and try to drop for it. Good damage onto her. Oh, Oh, he missed that one. Is he going to try to land onto Hearn? It doesn't look like he's going to try and move on over and clean up the elimination. The alien does have a weapon already, so it looks like Epicwell is being careful on this approach to try to go ahead and play wonky. 12-game tournament, not necessarily going to be easy. Early on, Victor V. Kanata also split up their drop. Who else we missing? Who else were we missing? Victor V. Kanata. We saw Baka Pars. It does look like already we got some aggression coming out of Baka and Pars at Dark Dominion here. Snevy, he's going to be by himself. Not sure where the help is at. Dark finally comes in. Baka gets the first down, goes for the second. Both of them get cleaned up. The two-time FNCS champions win their drop spot early. Uh-oh, keep it going. We got Phoenix and Retro here. Another off-spawn fight. A lot of our top teams going to have to go through these off-spawn fights. Slow approach here from Phoenix and Retro. Quickly look on over to Kanata and Victor V. Dignitas, his new pickup in Victor V. And Kanata trying to take control of the building. Koffs and Suds on the outside. Koffs lurking up above. Not sure if Kanata hears the footsteps or not. Thor is going to be there on the other side. Kanata just trying to farm up along with Victor V. Trying to take a slow approach to this fight. Grab the extra angles. Koffs and Suds up above. They're lurking, healing. Not wanting to give up easy. Thank you, Lotto, for the sub. Lotto! Gifted a tier 1 sub. Stewie, please say thank you to Lotto, bro. Alright. Ooh, nice side angle coming out from Victor V. Koffs is ready to hold the right. Kanata still up above. Taking it one wall at a time, trying to close out the options. Zyro does get the down onto Retro, though. So that leaves Phoenix by himself. 1v2 situation here. Oh, first shot's going to miss onto Chris. Phoenix trying to back up. He has the slurp fish. He has the big pot. Doesn't have... Oh, my God, Phoenix! Rising from the ashes. First down is there. Chris on the other side. He misses another crucial shot. Gets the edit. Oh, my God, Phoenix almost makes the play, but he literally gets cut short. Oh, no. Kanata gets the first down on this side of the fight. Kanata does get the first knock. So it does look like Victor V and Kanata get the go-ahead. Oh, my God. A big game one for Phoenix and Retro. Unfortunately, they go down to Chris and Zyro early. Victor V doesn't know exactly where he's at. Kanata lurking in the inside. Koffs is going to be stuck underneath. Oh, he found him. Toe tag. First shot's going to connect. Victor V and Kanata win off spawn. Going back up to the top where we got Epic Whelm Pump. Yo, please, like, you know what I mean? Bro, just don't be weird. No spoilers, don't be weird. That's all I ask, bro. I'm just a caster. Check Riptides. We'll check Riptides right now. Icy and Compton win their fight. We got extra bigs. He's going 0-2. Bro, Redix, you can't just switch up that quick. Hyson sees him. Got Source in school. Lonely and Haas. Top 78 still alive. Ooh, Epic Whale taking damage here from afar. Him and Pump just trying to control the game, the mini game right now. We're trying to see if there's any more fights that might break down. We got South Boulevard. A couple teams here on the edge. Boss down below in New Sanctuary. Gavix and Susie down low towards the bottom. We got X-Pawn Reciprocal. Let's check on B-Dog in Minute. Honestly, I wasn't impressed at heats. In the play-ins, I think B-Dog and Minute can perform better, and I just want to see it here this weekend in finals. Top 3 qualifies to the Summit Land on West. Top 3. Twizzy asked me to send you love. Well, tell Twizzy and Dio I love him too. Oh, another fight right here. Scissor and Blood Gangsta. Mez and Tups. Right on the other side. Scissors does get the doubles, but no chance to approach in. Once again, getting control of these pieces. Kind of taking away the option for Tups. Gets a good burst to go through. Not enough to build that confidence for Blood Gangsta just yet to 50-50, but that shot right there from Scissor, even though he trades shots back and forth. Overall in the team fight, they are going to get a little bit of advantage, but the third-party shots come in the distance. Going to slow Blood Gangsta and Scissor down, make them kind of second-guess this decision. Were you reading chat during the Reddit? But no, I didn't have any. I don't have chats open during Reddit broadcast anymore, or during the broadcast anymore. Well, let's check that replay from the off-spawn fight, you know? We did see this. Pars and them were able to get the fight. Let's go ahead and zoom in on that one.
Baka gets the first down, goes for the second. Both of them get cleaned up. The two-time FNCS champions win their drop spot early. Uh-oh. Keep it going. We got Phoenix and Retro here. Another off-spawn fight. A lot of our top teams going to have to go through these off-spawn fights. Slow approach here from Phoenix and Retro. Quickly look on over to Kanata and Victor V. Dignitas, his new pickup in Victor V. And Kanata trying to take control of the building. Koffs and Suds on the outside. Koffs lurking up above. Not sure if Kanata hears the footsteps or not. Door's going to be there. All right, we're loading back into the game. You know, we just wanted to give some replays so you guys don't hear me yapping for no reason. If anybody might have missed that part of the game, now you saw it. Now we're getting back in. I love you too, David. My wife said hi, everybody.
Right.
We're just trying to get back in the game. All right. We got no double mini-map. That's fixed. And we have the players' POVs. Okay, not bad. Not bad. It definitely is warm in here. They said hi. Ent said hi.
Hi.
Somebody say yo.
It's because we got hot games going on. That's why.
She said hot games going on. She understands a little bit of competitive. I felt great. I felt great casting. I think my casting, how good it is and sounds really depends on the game.
Woo!
Really depends on the games.
Yeet.
Blink Fuzz on the outside. Z and Keen there. That's Zare. That's Keen. Trying to take hold of 4 fields, but we got Dustin and Caden lurking by. Dustin and Caden, kind of known for lurking on over from the north side of the map. This is how they typically try to get their surge, but no success here. Dustin and them moving in. No real fights coming on this side of the map. Yo, Paper, let me know if there's anybody you want to watch outside of Vic doing... I was going to say doing nothing, but we'll check on Vic for a second. Ooh, Kanata and Vic quickly rotating in from Sandy all the way to Frigid. Victor V, Kanata, just trying to make a primary rotation on over so they don't have to do it later from Sandy. Already on the north side of the map. OC and Larco's position on top of the mountain. Don't have to worry about that. Victor V takes some damage, quickly finds another big pot. Waste no time trying to go ahead and increase their position in the zone. Maybe build a full box of metal, refarm while they can. Let's go ahead and check out what's going over here with X-Pawn and Doxy for a moment. On top of the mountain, let's go ahead and pull back for a moment to 7X Doxy. CZR's there, Bean, Cove, and B-Dog, along with Minute, all taking the edge of this mountain. Bean, though, I'm not sure if he was fighting somebody. I thought the arrow was different, but it does look like Bean and Chase positioned inside of a box already. Most of the teams inside really have no reason to peek. 79 players alive. Storm Surge should activate here in a moment. Ray Guns loot, we'll check in for a moment. After this fight. Bro, dashed. Bro, who do you want to watch, Dash? Thank you for the prime, my brother. Hopefully, I make your prime worth it this weekend with both casting on the FORTNITE channel and here. You know, getting some NA West love. Sane and Bro Crows. If anybody knows a ton about Sane and Bro Crows, please let me know. But they're trying to get shots in the distance. But they have to be careful here. One team in their path looks like they're lurking. Tups and Mez waiting for them to make a mistake. Overstep. But it's going to take some time for that to happen. You see they're going to go ahead and pop that fire pit and then move from there. We got Vanillas and School already towards Dark Dominion, boxed up. Not far away from Baka and Pars, who are also boxed up with their Mythic. Checking everybody out here early on, trying to make their way in towards the north side of the map. We checked on Victor V. I know somebody said a name, but I can't find it right now. Raygun and Slixies. Rar's there. I don't know where Raygun's at. I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. I don't think we're finding him today. We're not. Yeah, we're not finding him today. Maybe next game. We'll check on Pump. We'll check on Epic Well here for a short moment. Farming up. Contested at Wonky Land. Epic Well was literally this close to getting the elimination onto Hearn in the early game. Unfortunately, he was able to get away due to a miss coming out from Epic Well. But they still get full control over their POI. Yo, Jonas, thank you for the 300 bits, my brother. I'm going to use that on a Diet Coke right after today's stream. Kind of looking around, saving the wonky wheel. Let's check out the other team real quick.
Hearn lurking around, just trying to go ahead and probably use that mending machine. Depending on how much gold they have, you can kind of see why. An extra item slot with the gloves. They probably want to throw that away and some extra heals. Pump is just kind of guarding it right now.
Great job on NAC GOAT.
Yo, thank you, Dubcat. That's like 2 Diet Cokes already, bro. 2. Jonas, 2. I'm going to get a Diet Coke and a Diet Dr. Pepper. Large, of course. All right, let's check on Larkos real quick. Larkos and OC. I got to imagine these guys doing well when it comes to Surge. Been sitting on top of the mountain for quite a while. Spread out so they have coverage over a good portion of the zone. Even though they got to rotate in one shockwave, or they can instantly just shockwave in the box and run in. Yo, Endu, I love you, brother. Hopefully you and your actual brother are doing well. Somebody wanted to check out Victor V. Canada again real quick as the zone continues to close. Victor V basically going to his old drop spot on Central, along with Canada, or I should say Canada's old drop spot, finding a couple of extras. Shockwaves, 500 above the damage threshold. Now we're going to go ahead and look around, see who's below. We got Gabix and Susie. They're going to be 130 above. We got Xpon and Doxy inside of the zone, 228 above. We got Raygun and Slixies. We finally found them. Don't worry, we're here, 370 above. Nothing to worry about for them. Central and Purple, they got a win. That's how they qualified. Only 135 above. Check out Chase and Bean here for a second. Inside of the dome, 229 above the damage threshold. Baka and Pars, I gotta imagine they're going to be above as well. 382. Continue to pad that stat. Uh-oh. Austin Lonely now. Does look like they might get targeted out here. Centro Purple also putting down fire. Baka and Pars still got to rotate in along with School and Vanillas. But both teams positioned to where one shockwave can really make that happen. Pars underneath, locking down the mending machine. Make sure nobody can access it but them. I don't know who that is, Polio. I'm going to be honest with you. 468. Bo Crow's got to be getting in. Cloney's in there towards the side. Poppy Blast to check on Echo and Vert. Not sure where Taki's at, but I know Taki loves these guys. Rotating in from Latte. They have the super pad. They're just trying to glide their way in. They can make it to the next zone, and immediately it actually pulls down low towards the south. Vert and Echo waste no time. 530 above the damage threshold. I think, like, what was the leaderboard? I don't remember the leaderboard for Central right now at the top of the head, but I think there's, like, a good chunk of teams who could still win. Pony's just trying to put pressure on Echo and Vert. They still got more of a rotation to go. You see it pulls all the way over. They had to pause for that second. Does look like Canada, Victor V. They already made it in. Almost 500 damage above the threshold. 600, 700. Continues to count. Does look like Vert and Tubbs end up in a scuffle. Tubbs does go down. Vert, I'm not sure, was able to pick up the elimination just yet, but it does look to be the case. 3 overall, 2 Chug Jugs. They use the Fizz. They have the Floppers for HP, and they go ahead and drop that down with the Shockwave. They know the main focus of their game plan at this stage is going to be just getting to the zone. They're almost 1,000 above the threshold. Got to be feeling good. Vert following up. They have more than enough heals. They can afford to take this damage and still try to make their way in. But Wizzy, Seps, they're the ones watching from above. 300 damage. Looking back on a Vert, Echo, Digital, Matt, and Hezi and Virus all coming in from this side of the map. Echo and Vert's going to make that rotation easy with a Shockwave, and I use that relatively loosely because they go from one team looking at them to two, with Icy and Cloney looking in. Eric's and Darky are going to be there on the outside. They're targeting somebody else. That's Zare and Keen trying to make their way in from the outside.
I would have cheered more, but Epic disqualified my credit card. They said, sorry, it was a mistake. I can use it next month.
It's alright. I forgive you. Speed and Z, 223. Fuzz and Blink just putting pressure down. They were one of the last teams to make it inside the zone, so they just want to make it hard for them to really feel comfortable. But as the dust settles, no more pressure coming in. You can see they did pull this side of the zone. It gets harder and harder the further and further you do go back, but Evolve, Peopletron, they're already in. Ratgun 60's in. Zookies and Zeno made it in as well. But for Victor V and Kanata, another long pull. They thought it was good to rotate early out of Sandy all the way towards the north. Since then, they've been ping-ponging back and forth to try to find their way in towards zone. This time, they find a little bit more struggles. Damage connecting onto Kanata. 26 above the damage threshold. He quickly answers back onto Caesar and lands a couple of shots. Now it's 100. Not necessarily as comfortable as they were. But Kanata, he thinks West is going to be a cakewalk. We'll definitely see if that continues to hold true. No, you can't. You go in one region. Oh, go ahead. Kanata and Victor V. I don't know if you guys hear her. She's trying. Jules gets a nice elimination. Oh my god, he just shut down Kanata, leaving Victor V by himself. It's a lot of pressure on Victor V. You get one of the greatest players in the history of the game coming over to NA West, and immediately here in game one, Kanata goes down, but Victor V quickly tries to rotate on over in towards zone. Almost maxed up when it comes to materials, but as soon as he makes it on towards the other side, Vert and Echo immediately send the firing squad, but it's not just them. Other teams trying to make it hard for Victor V to survive. 8 above the damage threshold, but with Compton going down, you see how much pressure in terms of damage it just alleviated. From barely 8 above to 368 above the damage threshold. In the next zone, though, he's going to fall so far below, and it activates. So for Victor V, he has to act quick, fast, and in a hurry. Jules is going to be down below, also in a struggle position here. Appreciate Endu for the sub. Tier 1, let's go, baby. 154. Hopefully that's enough to fuel Victor V here. Active Surge, trying to pick up the pizzas, taking the ticks. Max pull yet again here. So for Victor V, it's going to be tough for him to find his way out. Baka's already made his way in. X-Spawn Doxy putting some damage onto Baka and Pars. Well above the damage threshold. Hopefully replay fixed itself for Victor V here. Trying to make his way on out. Sees Jules rotate in. Tries to go for the quick shot. Doesn't find success there, but it might be a blessing because Lyric and X are there on the other side. Oh my god. Victor V immediately getting the down and the damage cleanup on the body. Finds himself well above the damage threshold for this zone. 16 players need to go down before he finds Storm Surge turning off, but who cares? He gets another elimination. This is the Victor V show. Doesn't matter if it's Ark as his teammate or Kanata. This man is firing off on all cylinders here as he quickly makes it to the zone yet again. Doxy, X-Pawn, Chris, and Zyro are there. Vanillas and School, 117 above. School does position himself inside of the zone already, quickly trying to play catch-up here. As Epic Whale and Pump feeling the pressure from all angles. Spray coming in. Pump goes down. Epic Whale gets the first shot to land onto Swords. Tries to go for the second, but he goes down as well. That's a big team out of the lobby as placement points start to set in. Smagu, I'm eating good. Thanks to you, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you for the bits. Top 24 position here, 976 above the damage threshold, 32 points here, 7 eliminations for Source and School. Remember, School is a part of the trio that won FNCS Major 2. It was Ark, it was School, and it was Sauco. And he's ready to reclaim his throne here if he can somehow end up with a win. 1,200 damage above the threshold. Nothing really to worry about for them. We're trying to see if Victor V is still alive, but I don't think he is as he jump on board Baka in a struggle bus of a position. Minute gets the elimination there. Top 12 situation. Let's try and take a look. Anybody's emerging as the high ground team. It does look like it's Choppa and Go Height Don't Die. Don't even know who these guys really are under the gamer tags, but 8th zone might be too early. But we'll see if anybody looks up and tries to contest them on the high ground. Source School, they make it to the front side of the zone. Chris and Zyro as well. Victor V still running around by himself. Top 22 here. For Victor V and Kanata to have a good game, it's up to him. Vanilla and Haju, you're right. Victor V getting angled out on the side. Pressure coming in, but he's not slowing down. Just trying to make it in towards zone. That's Slepsy and Wagers. Chris and Zyro are going to be down below. Chicken does go down. Not sure who found that elimination. It was actually Sweezem who gets credit for that one. 4 more points as it looks like Chris and Zyro, they're going to wait in the backside of the zone for as long as possible, use the fizz, try to overtake as much distance as possible, but they have to go ahead and clear the high ground first. Shockwave's coming out. Choppa go height. You got to be careful. Chris, Zyro, they're ready to fight for it all. Right now, it looks like they secured the high ground. They're not ready to fight down one layer up until now. They get their HP and shield all the way back on up. That team down below really can't keep up with the pressure, and they actually give it up themselves. They're not ready to fight for it just yet. Chris still alive. Victor V still looking strong. Top 8 seed situation. Only 9 builds left, though. This is where it starts to get scary if you are Victor V. With barely any materials left, he's really holding on to the med kit, staggering himself back, letting the zone push all these teams forward. Hopefully, with those down bodies right before him, he can get some sort of a material, some sort of miracle here for his survival. Finds Larkos towards the outside, lands the first shot, even some damage, but the shockwave is going to allow for Larkos to get out alive. Victor V going up the side of the mountain. You can see he's almost out of builds entirely. One left. It's really up to this moment here where Source and School are going to be down below. They have to peek through, but he found a down body. He's able to clean that one up. Huge elimination for Victor V. It might be the bare minimum because it's Siphon, but for Victor V, it means the world of difference. Slide to the front side of the zone. Still trying to hold on. Chris and Zyro, they're no longer on the high ground. Can Victor V continue this run? Top 10 situation as a solo here. He has to slide into the zone, collecting with just a little bit more resource here, but no material. Big shot onto Source again. He's down to just the shockwave, but he's just almost a second too late. He's barely hanging on with a prayer. Larkos almost goes down. Victor V finally's run come to an end, but probably one of the best solo clutches we've seen today on any region. Zyro, Chris, they're still left alive. Source is still here along with School. We got Bo Crows, Insane, and then B-Dog as the only solo. But for Zyro and Chris, they've been doing wonderful things here in this game. 7 eliminations so far. One team in front of them. The path does get cut short, having to go outside of the zone, but the shockwave forces him further and further out. B-Dog the solo. Good damage onto Zyro, and somehow, someway, he finds his way back inside of the zone on high ground. Looking down, sees Source, gets that Elam back to back, gets another. Siphon keeping him alive. 2v2 situation. Sane and Bro Crows from outside of the zone. They have to work their way in, and they have their work cut out for them. One goes down. Chris gets the other. 11 eliminations here in game 1. Chris and Zyro take first. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say.
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
Priz and Zyro win game 1. 109 points. How does Chris do it? All right, let's take a look at the leaderboard real quick. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. We know who's in first. Chris and Zyro. 9 points down. Source and School. 12 elimination, 3rd place game. Bo Crow's Insane. 2nd place in that game, but they'll be 3rd place on the leaderboard. Victor V and Kanata. Victor V and Kanata. 4th place. Victor V solo clutched top 8 with 6 eliminations. End up 4th on the leaderboard. B-Dog going down in 4th. 3 eliminations, which puts them 5th on the leaderboard. Only 3 spots up for grabs, though. Only 3 spots up for grabs. That was actually good. Victor V ended up clutching up the Prid, by the way. Oh, did he really? Down, down, down. Bro, Victor V clutched up the Pred, dude. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to take some teams out, like this one and this one. And we'll throw this one out. And we'll do... And then... Actually, we'll keep this one. Bro, I don't really even know who to put. Alright, cool. Next one's up. Next one's up. Never mind. It doesn't work. I don't know how to fix this, dude.
Which arc was playing? You and me both. Jacob, did you do the broadcast earlier? Yes, on Central. Add minute. Yo, Biscuit, if you want to do them, feel free to do them. For some reason, mine messes up, and it says I'm not allowed to. I don't know how else to explain it. But after this one. All right, let's go ahead and look real quick when the next game is. 5-minute delay. Remember that. So it looks like Ryan Tron didn't load into the game. Dude, is this thing bugging? Can we not get the replay code? Not bad, dude. Not bad. Not bad. Back in February, tell me he's winning game 1 of I don't know straight, bro. I know all of you. Oh, game starts in 2 minutes. Okay. So it's a longer break because it's finals. Thank you, Ryan Tron. I didn't know if West followed the same breaks. Watch Hezzy and Virus or Trace and B in game 2. All right, we'll take a look at them a little bit closer. Are there any surprises or non-surprises after game 1? I think Victor V solo clutching is not a surprise. So, you know. That game ended in 11th zone? What does that even mean? Really? It did, huh? Do any other regions end that early? Do you guys go in Discord call to use a green screen? Yes, but I don't think that is like mutually. You don't have to be in a call to use a green screen. Does that make sense? We use everything. Victor's clutch like 50 points. Yep. By himself, dude. Literally by himself. Kanata went down to Jules. Jules ended the Kanata run. But he couldn't slow down Vic. Cannot slow down Vic. Yeah, if you want to, Biscuit. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But if you want to, I trust you to make some good predictions. You think Peter or Clicks can still win? I think both of them can still win. Could. Probability is a whole different thing. All right, what do you say? Game starts in 2 minutes. So, we're obviously early here. Even though we're early, though, let's go ahead and check out the winning moments of that last game, right? Let's do it. Goes to get out alive. Victor V going up the side of the mountain. You can see he's almost out of builds entirely. One left. It's really up to this moment here where Source and School are going to be down below. They have to peek through, but he found a down body. He's able to clean that one up. Huge elimination for Victor V. It might be the bare minimum because it's Siphon, but for Victor V, it means the world of difference. Slide to the front side of the zone. Still trying to hold on. Chris and Zyro, they're no longer on the high ground. Can Victor V continue this run? Top 10 situation as a solo here. He has to slide into the zone, collecting with just a little bit more resource here, but no material. Big shot onto Source again. He's down to just the shockwave, but he's just almost a second too late. He's barely hanging on with a prayer. Larkos almost goes down. Victor V finally's run come to an end, but probably one of the best solo clutches we've seen today on any region. Zyro, Chris, they're still left alive. Source is still here along with School. We got Bo, Crows, Insane, and then B-Dog as the only solo. But for Zyro and Chris, they've been doing wonderful things here in this game. 7 eliminations so far. One team in front of them. The path does get cut short, having to go outside of the zone, but the shockwave forces him further and further out. B-Dog the solo. Good damage onto Zyro, and somehow, someway, he finds his way back inside of the zone on high ground. Looking down, sees Source, gets that Elam back-to-back, gets another. Siphon keeping him alive. 2v2 situation. Sane and Bro Crows from outside of the zone. They have to work their way in, and they have their work cut out for them. One goes down. Chris gets the other. 11 eliminate. So when I promised you guys, I didn't mean for the replay to be that long. I was doing some behind the scenes recording during Central, and I put the replay a little bit longer to make sure I don't miss anything. So I've shortened the replays from here on out. So you guys, you know, it is what it is, you know? All right. Epic Well and Pump, 4 points so far. Not necessarily where you want to see. Baka and Pars, 18 points, 20th place. Again, not where you expect a team like that to be. Vanilla Haju is going to be in 11th. Echo and Vert going to round out the top 10. Evolved Peepotron Somebody said Heisen. That's who you're talking about. That's the name I was originally looking for. 24 points. Second game starts. It probably started. Let me see. Let me refresh. It's probably starting, and we need the 5-minute delay to catch up. We just need the 5-minute delay to catch up. You watch Hazo. He got Cuba game 1. Is he contested? See Venom, so many kills, no placement. Yeah, that's tough. It honestly is. When you cast it, you look at Twitch chat. No, because the Twitch chat's delayed, so there's almost no point in me looking at Twitch chat, if that makes sense. Bro, this Fortnite tracker is bugging, dude. There we go. All right, so next game in 00 on the clock. 3 minutes or less. 3 minutes or less. Yo, thank you so much, Smurf. I don't know why Fortnite tracker was bugging the way it was, but you know. Try to hit a little refresh. But 00 on the clock. 2 minutes or less. How many games are playing tonight? We're playing 6 games tonight, 6 games tomorrow. Tomorrow, we not only crown FNCS on both Central and West, but we see what 16 teams overall qualify out of NA to go to the Summit LAN, which is 13 on Central and 3 on NA West, which makes this that much more interesting as a region because I had my top teams, right? I had my top teams going into it, and every single one of those teams are contested today. So no charge. It was definitely a stacked way. It was definitely still one to watch. You know, Riven's rooting for Chase. No charge. Like, come on now. And, yo, gaming, Kanata is not on Central anymore. He's just on West, if you're still here. About a minute to wait. We're into the next game. No multiplier tomorrow, Num. No multiplier. Just clean cut Fortnite. After the day, you hit the VOD. You make your changes. You go from there. I think we're going to see something crazy tomorrow, though. I don't know what region. I think we're going to see something crazy tomorrow, though. I think there's a bunch of tricks and strats that people haven't put out yet, but I don't know. 5 for Brazil. All right, we got about a minute to wait. A little bit less than a minute to wait. Who are the 3 favorites on West? Well, going into it, I was like Kanata, Epicwell, and then I was thinking like Phoenix or Baka, or there's one other team that I just can't think of right now, and all of them contested. Kanata, Vic, Epic, Baka, Retro, Phoenix. Everybody's contested that I would think going into it. Can you watch Hazo? He's conned, I think. As long as he's conned, Cookie, bro, you don't have to give me bits. Just let me know while the game's going on. But thank you so much.
Twitch Hazo 4K. He's conned, I think.
I forgot to say, once it gets around top 15, we're going to try it. Lotto knows, Wheat knows. Try to give me words, and I'm going to try to work them into the commentary. I'll try to pay attention to both. All right, double minimap gone. All right, zone. We don't have all the POVs, do we? No, we don't. Do we have them now? We have most of them. Quickly watch this one off spawn. Game 1 winners, 109 points. We're going to watch it from Phoenix and Retro this time around. Some quick shots coming in. Third parties already interrupting this fight. Both of them kind of get the Chaos Reloader and an Iron Pump, but already a health advantage going on over to Zyrone team. Sandy's trip. Does look like Kanata and Vic are going to get one side uncontested. Baka and Pars contested down towards the bottom. Epicwell gets to Elim. Epicwell and Pump win their off-spawn fight against Hearn. Retro and Phoenix win their off-spawn fight. So you can kind of see how the Epicwell fight broke down. They're contesting the side mountain. One's going to fall. Hearn in the distance. Well, definitely does clean up that Elim quick.
Bakapars, they already got one Elim on the Snevy. It does look like they're chasing Dark out of the POI entirely. Are they going to keep chasing underneath? I don't think so. Yeah, they're going to go back, get their actual POI, and kind of move from there. Go and check on Victor V and Kanata over at Sandy Strip. Do you I hear all the sounds, Smagu, but I didn't hear it in the moment. I'm loud and I'm a yapper. So pressuring the sidewall, getting to burn materials. Suds tries to make a move upward, landing a shot onto Victor V, causing some damage. HP's going out the window as well. Wall's getting stolen. Victor V's pushed back further and further, forced to drop down a layer. 3 builds left, goes right back on up, knowing Kanata has his back. Good damage on the Cops until he eventually gets the knock. Defending the POI yet again. Kanata and Victor V find themselves in a 2v1 situation against Suds. Pizza's going down. Suds trying to break through. He gets the wall and the ramp, but not enough to get the elimination as Kanata and Victor V defend Sandy Strip. Seen a good chunk of the fights break down already. Let's go for Xenon and Velo towards the side real quick. Where is, yo, Cookie, where does your boy spawn? If you tell me where your boy spawns, that'll probably make it a lot easier. Oh, he died? Alright, we'll watch the next game. Raise, top right. What the heck? Alright, we'll watch this for a second. Alright, we saw it. Pizza, minis, double mobility. Shockwave off the side. Are they looking for the Elim, though? Are they looking for the Elim onto Dustin? They did get at least one. Oh, are they going to spot Dustin out, though? Yep. Not going to go for it. Just at the edge of the map, though. No, not too much to worry about. Latte's good. Looking for other fights. Back over here. Icy Compton versus Xenon and Velo. Okay, shockwaving, gaining height. They're just trying to figure out where these guys are actually at. Icy and Compton down below. Yo, thank you. Ooh, here's the farming coming out. Breaks in the wall. For a moment there, I'm not sure why he was putting the cones down, but he's backing Icy up, cutting off the path. He's able to escape out the front door. Velo knows he's getting flanked on the other side by Compton. Tries to approach closer and closer, trying to cut down the options. Xenon's the one, though, that has to watch out. Shield's gone. No extra shield in the inventory either. Has to wait to reunite with Velo, who's finally ran out of builds. Clear angle from Compton, but he gets tagged up. Velo loses his teammate. 2v1 situation. Breaks into the box. Tries to get the down, but ends up with absolutely nothing here. Xenon and Velo fall here early in game 1. I feel like eventually, by the end of today, everybody's going to start crashing out on each other. So Epic and Pump looking good. Looking strong at their POI. Gold. Just like what Clicks was doing, they're just blocking off that whole mountain angle. No free tags for the people on top of the mountain, which is going to be Larkos and OC, who aren't even necessarily concerned just yet with getting Surge. Kind of think they would split up. One of them loots, the other one gets Surge, but a little slower to approach it this time around. Somebody said they want to see Beans and Source. This is School and Source, right? Been watching for literally 24 hours. Was it Ninjivar? Well, first off, thank you for even typing. Hopefully you've been enjoying the Fortnite action. I don't know who you've been watching, or if it's a Fortnite channel, Ozzy, or Faxity, or any of those guys, but I know today's been entertaining. From EU to Central to West now. Thank you for being in the community. Ryan Tron going south. Icy still watching. If there's anybody in particular you guys want to check out at this time, let me know. What's up, Trey? How you doing, my brother? Minute and B-Dog. Wow, give me a second.
We'll check on Vic and Nada after this. Scissor rotating on top of the mountain, positioning himself. Not sure if he's beating B-Dog, but Minut's already positioned on the other side. If you guys watch Central, this is where visuals and braids have been landing. Kanata and Victor V haven't even left Sandy Strip yet. No real reason to. Still looting up, win their off-spawn fight. Early Storm Surge. But from there, no real reason to move around. We got Phoenix and Retro losing out on game 1. They win the off-spawn fight here in game 2. And they're really trying to make it count. We got Chaos Reloader and everything else. Is this what you're talking about? What did you say? Who's all the way in the water, left side of the map? I'm guessing you're talking about these guys. CZR and Jules using the zip line. Hey, not bad of a rotation, but you can see they don't really have much, so it's like, why not? Compton Icy still making their way in. Timco and Fly. So almost looks like Timco got rebooted based off of the 1, the 30, and the bare minimum. No build. So yeah, Timco reboots Fly back in the game. Trying to give themselves a second chance. Zeno and Zuki's making their way in. Epicwell and Pump already in from Wonky Land. Not bad. Yeah, I don't think they have much surge. There's no way they can have a ton of surge. Ooh, Dark goes down again. Lost the off-spawn fight. They get the reboot. No way to actually able to make it back. Does look like they're going to be uncontested, Jules and Caesar, when they make it in. But let's see what happens here with Source. We got Ryantron. Do they see Source in school is the question. Where's Kanata and Vic? They're in Sandy Strip, not doing much. They're just hanging out. Probably eating some pizza rolls. So, hold on. Is Icy, by the way, different than the other Icy guy I watched? Is there 2 Icies in here? I'm pretty sure there is, isn't there? Yes? Okay. Purple and Centro here. We got Baka and Pars still. I was going to say on top, but that's going to really be up to Pars. Or Baka, I should say, while Pars gets the extra loot down underneath. I'm about to say, what are we looking for here? All right, we got the stash underneath. Farming up some extra metal just in case. Check on Phoenix and Retro. I really had high hopes for this team coming in. I had high hopes for this team. Arc is not in here. We got Xpon and Doxy. They haven't had to move far from their actual POI. 44 points in game 1. I would not say that's good, but that's definitely not bad. It's a good place to start. Vanillas and Haju. Right across from Coney. Hold up. Let's go back to that because that's the guy. That's the other guy. There we go. Peterbot and Clicks in these rounds. Yeah, they just got eliminated, though. They got eliminated already. And now they're on Central. This is West. Oni Pump Epic Wells still at Wonky Land. Waiting until last second. They got their mending machine. Sane and Bowcrows at Battlewood. Larkos and OC from the top of the mountain here. Now they're fighting against Raze and Monk. It's a weird terrain to be fighting on, I'll tell you that much. Has the cone up above. I say waiting for OC to make a mistake here, but I don't think either one of them are going to overstep their boundaries. Still have to rotate in towards Sandy Strip. Not bad for Raze and Monk. But you can see they have the extra floppers. Good damage on OC and Larkos as well. Elmo. What's up, duo? What's up, teammate? What's up, brother? It was alright, man. It was alright at best. It's nothing like NA West, though, for sure. Raze and Monk making their way in.
from Sandy Strip. Hezi and Virus still on the south side of the map, just outside of New Sanctuary. Bean and Chase making it in on the north side of the map. Getting tagged up on the tail end. Team already on high ground, but it gives us a chance to look at Kanata and Victor V. Excited? Yep. I think it's a good time to be a fan of Fortnite. First place by 1 point, Elmo. I don't know why, but just he's using the restroom, man. He's subbing it. You're in, brother. No jokes. 913 above. They get the drop as well. Center zone for Kanata and Arc. They just got to be careful not to get angled out. You got Icy here. Another team spotting him out. Just like I said, a few surge bases coming in. I know somebody wanted to see Youngin and Hilly for a second. We got Chaos Reloaders. We got a gold Chaos Reloader. Kind of go from there. Choppa and Stu. Is that go height? We just learned who Stu is today. Phoenix and Retro still by the shores. 324 above. Jumps up to 393. Just trying to spread out. Each of them having their own respective med kits so that way they can heal up. Looking towards the north. This is where somebody said check out Choppa and Stu. Well, check out Choppa and Stu. It just lines up perfectly because they're there on the map. Med kits, pizza. We are carrying the zip line instead of a shotgun, which worries me a little bit. Can anybody give me insight to why Stu would do this? Phoenix and Retro in the distance. Spots them. Immediately puts down damage. He doesn't hold shotguns. All right. Chris and Zyro won first. Bro, if this guy really plays zip lines and he swan dives onto height, I'm here for it. Zone pulling towards the center of the map. So for Baka and Pars, waiting for as long as they have, they immediately make it in towards zone. You know, Victor V is going to make it in towards zone pretty easy. Let's go ahead and do a check real quick on our top teams on the leaderboard. First place already eliminated out of this game. We got Source and School just kind of lurking on the Virus and Hezi, south side of the map. You got Caesar and Jules, who rotated all the way from the western edge of the zone, goes towards the south, and then goes from there. What does that mean? Free arc, twin. Bro is free. Come on, bro. Watch it first second movie just flies up. Okay, we'll definitely check it out. 199 below the damage threshold. Honestly, did not expect to see Source and Skull in this position in terms of Storm Surge. Another shot's connecting as they try to go ahead and make their way towards the zone. Basically need a full elimination here. Yo, Paper, are you hate watching right now? Oh, Lyric is trying to move in the distance right now. Source trying to land some shots onto him. One's going to connect, but not enough to get him above the damage threshold. So he's going to move closer and closer. And I don't see his teammate anywhere. So this might be a solo and the only chance they really have to take a fight like this, especially with the zone pushing him in. Source on one side, tries to break in, falls him down into the box. But there goes School separated by just a mere ramp. It gets edited. School just gets beamed, almost dropped, but they do clean up the elimination. But it's actually stolen away by his own teammate. And we move into the 2-tick. Down goes Skull. But at least he's going to be able to get back up. Cats are cool. Thank you, brother. Yo, King Dante, make sure you say thank you. This experience is brought to you by Cats Are Cool. Now Active Surge is going off. Jump on board Epic Whale and Pump. For a second there, I thought they were going to be 105 below the damage threshold, but it does look like they are 400 above. Lurking onto Choppa and Stu. We just learned who they are. Pretty exciting times for you if you're a Fortnite fan, learning a new player. But they're just going to go ahead and rotate by Epic Whale and Pump. They're just going to go ahead and running Shockwave their way on out. They see Scissor. They see Blood Gangsta. Immediately, they look on over, land some damage on the Pump, but not enough to feel confident. Epicwell leading the charge, making their way in. Not necessarily wanting to anger the high ground team, so he's ready to stay on the layer. He's at 4 now. They're over 500 or so above the damage threshold. So taking those few shots aren't necessarily going to make them stray away from their game plan just yet. Chicken, Poppy Blast, they're 405 above. Blood Gangsta and Scissor, 584 above the damage threshold. We got Minute and B-Dog at 670 above the damage threshold. Just trying to find somebody who might be under. Rims and Imp, 649. Peepotron and Evolved. Ratgun and Slixies. Even though they might not be in a good spot inside of the zone yet, they're 440 above the damage threshold. Using the pizza, using the fizz, you know, they're going to combine that with a shockwave. They don't got very far to go, but they do have to watch out for teams that are elevated above them on the way there. Instead of going straight up with the shockwave, they're more so trying to use it for the effect. Combine that with the fizz, the low grab. They're just trying to get to the front side of the zone. But as Slixies does take damage, they fall 22 below the damage threshold. Oh my god. Rat Gun lurks onto Epic. Gets the knock. Pump's trying to backtrack here, stay alive. You see the loot being dropped here for Epicwell. Trying to give it on over to Pump. He's still getting pressured here for Ratgun. He wants more than just that. He wants the elimination, the 4 points, more surge for their total. Slixies right behind, trying to stay hip to hip. They want to at least get what they came for here, and Pump gets pushed back yet again. They're quickly on the chase, not wanting to let 4 more possible points escape them, but he's getting further and further away. Up until then, Slixies breaks the build. Ratgun gets the elimination, and down goes Epicwell and Pump. 2 bad games back to back here for Epicwell and Pump. They're going to have to flip that switch here soon if they want to catch up. Central and Purple at 185 above. Got Phoenix and Retro looking across. Scissor and Blood Gangster on the other side. And for Phoenix and Retro, they're below the damage threshold. Another one of our teams wouldn't expect in this position. End up with less control over their own game here. They're trying to pick up the piece. The zone is still rotating on over. There goes Retro trying to break through the builds, at least bleed one of those shots through. Blood Gangsta and Scissor, they do not take the bait, but Retro knows more players are shockwaving through. There goes the first shot, and that's enough. That is enough to get him above the damage threshold. Persistence is there for Phoenix. They're going to get well above, knowing this rotation likely not going to be easy. Going on foot. Trying to negate any free tags for anybody if they were to shockwave through the sky. Hiding underneath, using others as a distraction. There goes Phoenix. Clear, cut, and dry. They make it inside of the zone. A safe spot that they can call home. Crow's insane. Top 4 to start this game. Let's see right now who is on high ground. Looking around, doesn't look like anybody is solidifying themselves as the high ground team, or at least not just yet, which is crazy because this is in zone. Pulling far away towards the west side of the map, so we are moving over here. See if it continues to open up, give them some space to work with. Kanata and Victor V, they're going to be down low on the low ground, immediately move towards the front side of the zone. 814 above. Kanata trying to make up for that last game. There was a lot of pressure on Victor V to perform in game number 1. Almost 50 or so points as a solo. Probably boosted the confidence here for Kanata and himself, but you got Phoenix still wandering around along with Retro on the other side of that wall. One ramp's going to separate them and their demise. Luckily for them, Kanata and Victor V get cut short on that opportunity, but Phoenix answers back. Big shot onto Kanata. 100 shield gone just like that. You see the materials, or should say resource, being passed around. Pizza's coming out. Splashes on the ground. Victor V and Kanata waste no time rotating to the front side of zone yet again. They elevate themselves away from that low ground. They may not be the team that's claiming the high ground just yet, but they're ready to fight for it if it comes down to it. Stu and Choppa, they're the ones up above, trying to solidify it. Xenone being pushed further and further toward the backside of zone. Blood Gangsta by himself, 6 HP. Active Surge, Big Pop being popped, almost running out of time here. But luckily for him, I don't know who went down, what granted him the opportunity. He's going to be well above the damage threshold before it deactivates altogether. 5 HP, though. That's going to be the scary part, especially with Zone moving in. Big shot onto one. Poppy Blast almost gets dropped down low. There goes Blood Gangster trying to cut him off on the front side, but he is long gone from that position. As Blood Gangster is being persistent here and being proactive, trying to find elimination. He knows a Siphon could turn this game around, but he gets dropped down into a box trying to make a play. 67 shield left, 5 HP. Blood Gangsta is really feeling the pressure here from this lobby. 7 builds left. It's now or never. for Blood Gangsta, using the shockwave, trying to get some of that shield, blocks himself off, burning through his material yet again, only 2 left, spots somebody on the other side, but realizing he cannot stagger back because of the zone, he has to go forward, runs into somebody else, lands the shot, but not enough for the Elim. Eric's peaks on the other side, but Blood Gangsta is swiftly moving to survive, even dropping down low, but he finally gets found out. He gets cleaned up. Phoenix is the one who gets that elimination. Siphon only doing so much. He was on 2 HP, so he's up to 77. Triple AR, shotgun, 1 shockwave left. Phoenix really needs to make this game count. He's contested off spawn. He gets broken into the box. Youngin catches him off guard. Phoenix has just been eliminated here. If you guys have words you want me to use in the commentary, just let me know in chat. Words or phrases. We'll try to work them in as we're going. Top 15 here for Raze and Monk. They're strangling themselves backside of the zone. They're trying to make a play onto Doxy, onto X-Pawn. They're trying to make a huge flank and make it count. They trade shots back and forth. Monk, he's able to make the play and really make this moment matter. Even without shockwaves, they're able to take the high ground for Raze and Monk. This means absolutely everything here. Dropping down, looking to connect. And this is for Raze and Monk. They have an idea. They're just hoping it's a capital idea here. Without a build, that's looking like a lowercase, if anything. B-Dog and Minute are going to be down below. They're really faced with adversity here, but so much better of a position inside of the zone with all those builds. They're really trying to make it count. Kanata, Victor V, the backside of the zone. Victor V trades shots. There goes Minute going down. B-Dog forced to scramble outside of the zone. He's trying to get out alive. The shockwave up the side of the mountain. That might have been the perfect play at the perfect time. B-Dog showing he might be the full package as a teammate. Looking back, Victor V's down, spots out Kanata. Shockwave's there. There goes the opportunity B-Dog was looking for, but he's trying to follow the zone. Still has good enough builds to follow it underneath this bridge and get to the safe side overall. Top 3 situation, and they're all solos here in the game. Youngin, Kanata, and B-Dog. Most of the builds going on over to B-Dog, who shockwaves towards the sky. He's trying to build and reinforce it. Looking down, Youngin's the one that's down below. He forces him further and further down, trying to make him and Kanata clash. That's going to be the big moment here for B-Dog. They are going to go head-to-head. Youngin gets the elimination onto Kanata. B-Dog tries to shockwave him out, but he's trying to hold his position up above. Only drop down if he has to. Shockwave yet again, trying to displace Youngin down below. Drops the Fizz, just trying to make sure he doesn't take any fall damage. Youngin, once again, the shockwaves go and move him forward in towards the zone. This is the longest. This is the craziest 1v1, because right now, B-Dog gets dropped down to 5 HP. 1 pizza in the back pocket, and it's not going to matter. Youngin, 12 elimination. The insanity at its finest as him and Hilly clutch up. How do we know, Paper? How do we know, though? Yeah. You know, I'm not one to jump to conclusions, bro. All right, game 2's over. I don't know, dude. That felt like the longest drawn out 1v1. Victor V and Kanata take first place. Minute and B-Dog in second. Youngin, I've seen his name before. This dude streams. I'm pretty sure he's almost always in finals. 12 elimination win bumps him into the top 3. Ink resubs 13 months, Ink. Love you, brother. You need to get on Fortnite again, my man. You need to get on Fortnite. 12 kills solo clutch. Bro, I didn't even realize it was a solo clutch, bro. How long was he a solo is the thing. How long? I believe I've seen him around. Victor V for the prediction again. All right, I'm going to choose the outcome. And then, Biscuit, you can do whatever you want with the prediction, because it doesn't let me add names or change the title of the prediction at all. Victor V, not a B-Dog, Minute, Hilly Youngin, Chris Zyro, 109. They go down off spawn. Source and Skull, they cut the gap. 5th place, 108. Erickson Darky, Yumi and Sauko, Evolved and Peepotron, Bo Crow's Insane, Poppy Blast and Chicken move into the top 10. Hits and Stu, Choppa and Stu. Raygun Slixies, Expon Doxy, Xeno Zukis, Raze and Monk, Echo Vert, OC Larkos, Rems Imp, Vanillas and Hajus, Hezi and Virus, rounding out the top 20. Baka and Pars, 17th place. Back-to-back underperformances, in my opinion, which I thought once game time came around, we would see a different version of Baka and Pars, but so far, it's just not going well. I have no idea. I don't know. I've seen his name around. I've seen it a few division finals. And by the way, Cookie, where does he drop off spawn? Because we have like 4 big teams that we watch off spawn, but let me know where he drops. I want to make sure you get your camera. Can you look for a guy named Purple? That's him in Centro. Purple and Centro. Give 5 teams. Do these ones, I guess. But instead of Chris and Zyro, put Phoenix and Retro. I believe in Phoenix and Retro. I'm a Phoenix and Retro fan. He's not? Okay, see, yeah, I knew it. You know what I'm saying? Since 2019, it's NA West. You know how it goes, Paper. What is that Green X app you have open? Which one? Fortnite? This isn't open. This is Microsoft Edge. I don't use it. Copilot, I don't use it. Folder, Microsoft Store, email that I don't use. I don't really sign anything on the computer here. All right, let's see when next game is though. We have a decent amount of downtime. We have a decent amount of downtime. So let's go and watch the replay again. And this is for Raze and Monk. They have an idea. They're just hoping it's a capital idea here, but without a build that's looking like a lowercase, if anything. B-Dog and Minute are going to be down below. They're really faced with adversity here, but so much better of a position inside of the zone with all those builds. They're really trying to make it count. Kanata, Victor V, the backside of the zone. Victor V trades shots. There goes Minute going down. B-Dog forced to scramble outside of the zone. He's trying to get out alive. The shockwave up the side of the mountain. That might have been the perfect play at the perfect time. B-Dog showing he might be the full package as a teammate. Looking back, Victor V's down. Spots out Kanata. Shockwave's there. There goes the opportunity B-Dog was looking for, but he's trying to follow the zone. Still has good enough builds to follow it underneath this bridge and get to the safe side overall. Top 3 situation, and they're all solos here in the game. Youngin, Kanata, and B-Dog. Most of the builds going on over to B-Dog, who shockwaves towards the sky. He's trying to build and reinforce it. Looking down, Youngin's the one that's down below. He forces him further and further down. Trying to make him and Kanata clash. That's going to be the big moment here for B-Dog. They are going to go head-to-head. Youngin gets the elimination onto Kanata. B-Dog tries to shockwave him out, but he's trying to hold his position up above. Only drop down if he has to. Shockwave yet again, trying to displace Youngin down below. Drops the Fizz, just trying to make sure he doesn't take any fall damage. Youngin, once again, the shockwaves go and move him forward in towards the zone. This is the longest. This is the craziest 1v1, because right now, B-Dog gets dropped down to 5 HP. 1 pizza in the back pocket, and it's not going to matter. Youngin, 12 elimination. Not going the to the zone insanity but yeah, it's at its finest as him and Hilly clutch up. It's just the audio. That's just the rooting because I use double PC. Maybe I should stand up and hold the giant bear behind you. Oh, that bear's like 8 foot. Ozzy, hold up. Hold up. And this
Like
is for
8
Raze
foot.
and Monk. They have an idea. They're just hoping it's a capital idea here, but without a build. It's looking like a lowercase. If
Thing is
anything,
big,
B-Dog
dude.
and Minute are going to be
I
down
have no
below.
idea
They're
what
really
I go
faced
through.
with
That's his part of the
adversity
room.
here, but
I stay
so
over here.
much
He
better
stays
of a
over there.
position
We have
inside the zone with
we have
all
an
those
agreement.
builds.
As long
They're
as
really
I
trying
don't
to make it
step
count. Kanata,
foot on that
Victor
side
V,
of the
backside
room,
zone. Victor V trades shots. There goes Minute going down. B-Dog forced to scramble outside of the zone. He's trying to get out alive. The
gifted.
shockwave up the
If
side of the
I
mountain,
knew it was
might have
that
been the
easy,
perfect
I would've got
play
squashed
at
by
the
that bear a
perfect
long
B-Dog
time ago.
showing He might be the full
A
package
lot.
as
It's
a
somehow
teammate.
bigger than I
Looking
thought. It's
back,
actually,
Victor V's
actually,
down.
it is.
Spots
It's
out Kanata.
massive, dude.
Shockwave's
One
there.
of
There
my
goes the
old
opportunity B-Dog
roommates
was looking for.
bought it
He's trying
brand
to follow
new,
the zone.
moved
Still
out,
has
left
good
it
enough
there, and I
builds
just
to
kept it
follow
ever since.
underneath this bridge
Bro,
and get to
10
the safe side overall.
gifted.
Top
Oh my
3
God.
situation.
We still got
And
some
they're
time though.
all
We still got some
solos here in
time.
the
I wish I
game.
can gather
Youngin,
more
Kanata,
replays during the
and
game and try to
B-Dog.
do it like a
Most
giant
of the
replay
builds going
package.
on over to
but I can
B-Dog.
only do one at a
Shockwaves
time.
towards the sky. He's trying to build
Can
and
only do one at a
reinforce
time.
it.
If you
Looking
guys gotta
down,
gift it
Youngin's the
something,
one
make
that's
sure you
down
guys
below.
thank
He
the man
forces
that
him
manipulates
further and
himself.
further down. trying to make him and Kanata clash. That's
Here's
going
what
to
I
be
think
the
should
big
happen, though,
moment here
Ozzy.
for
Let me know if you're
B-Dog.
down with
They
this
are gonna
idea.
go
Let
head
me
to
know if you're
head.
down.
Youngin gets the elimination.
You get an
onto
icon
Kanata.
skin,
B-Dog
which
tries
is
to
fine with me.
shockwave him out.
I didn't
He's
mean to
trying
press that. Let's shut me up. You get an icon skin, and I'm the back bling. And anytime anybody gets an elimination, I just start casting. I don't know. The back bling just starts casting. I think that's one of the best ideas, dude. We'll record like 10 different sound bites. If somebody drops a 20 bomb, oh my god! That would be absolute mad. Yo, Ink!
The Rock is cooking.
Bro! You know you never have to, brother. Bro, Ink is somebody that joined my stream one time when I would run a bunch of pickup games, and he was MVP. He won some V-Bucks, bro. So, you know, shout out to Ink being here for a while. We're just waiting to see when the next game starts.
What the Rock is cooking.
Oh my god. Blue with a gifted sub. Renzo with a gifted sub.
What the Rock is cooking.
Alright, hold up. 2 minutes. 2 minutes! And we're into the next game for the first time in months. We're over 100 subs, bro. That's awesome. What you know about Braun Strowman? Bro, don't try and teach me something. Don't try.
If you smell
Do not.
is cooking.
Ink, another gifted sub, by the way. We got 1 minute to wait, by the way. 1 minute. So we're just wasting time, of course. But do not tell me about Braun Strowman in wrestling when I am the Fortnite World Heavyweight Champion. There's nobody out there in Fortnite that has been able to beat me one-on-one. There's nobody. Peterbot can't do it. Clicks can't do it. Faxity, you can't do it. Ozzy, maybe. Fred, definitely not. So as we go into this next game, just know there's only one champion, and it's me. Hopefully nobody says anything in real. I think we're a little early. I think we're seconds early. We might be seconds early. And by one-on-one, I mean pickaxe only, by the way. I mean pickaxe only. Sus Studio, okay. Get rid of the double. Yo, thank you for the bits, Cookie. You could just tell me, dude. Okay, let me see. We got all the POVs. Yes, we got all the POVs. No double mini-map. We're good. We're good. We're flying now. Where were the World Cup held in November? Yo, I literally heard the global champion is literally going to be in... And that is a crazy place to hold a tournament, if you guys don't know. Okay, we got Sus Studios. We got Humble Hills. We'll go to Sus Studios after. We want to watch the Phoenix Retro off-spawn fight again. Phoenix Retro off-spawn. Outside of the big names, this has to be one of my favorite teams on the region. Uh-oh. He drops down early, hoping to get the gun. Right now, Chris there. He gets the chest. They trade shots on the other side. Phoenix with a little bit of a lead. Retro unable to grab any guns so far. Is not really finding the luck, but he's able to scurry around to find a chest, but he's still getting tagged up in the distance. This is not looking good for Retro. Can't even stop and get the chest. There's really a lot of pressure onto Phoenix here to alleviate. He's on the other side of the map along with the other ones, but we got Kanata and Victor V already a first down onto Koffs. Let's go and look at Sus Studios real quick. Let's go and give Hazo some love along with LaHunt to see if they can win this fight. So far, it hasn't been looking good. Towards the outside, Victor V and them aren't rushing over. Epic Well seems to be uncontested this time around unless somebody... No Epic Well? Wait, hold up. Did they make Epic Well move spots? Somebody didn't touch the ground here. He pulled the Ozzy pulled the. Oh, okay. That's that. I mean, I said Fortnite World Heavyweight Champion. Like he's an FNCS Pro Am champion. Those are two different things. Okay, they're two different things. One came with actual prize money. One self-proclaimed. And obviously, the self-proclaimed one's a little bit more important. They didn't actually get the down. Suds and Cops actually do get the revive. Zukis and Zeno are the ones who took Epic Whale out of the sky. Landing at the 50-50 drop, probably. Zeno, Zukis. They end up getting that Elim. Baka and Pars, uncontested this time around. Does look like Phoenix and Retro. Drawn out fight on this side of the map. Got Cookies. We got Ink, bro. Thank you so much. I'm down for 67. Phoenix Retro still running around towards the bottom. Chris there, getting caught out of position, only momentarily. Shotguns all around. Only 2 minis on this loadout, though. Let's check Chris on the other side. They got splashes, big shockwaves, double chaos reloader. Well, there's a huge advantage on one side, and it's going to go to Chris and Zyro. Ooh, nice shot by Phoenix. Able to sneak that one through. Zyro up above, gives away his position. Phoenix, now he knows he's there. Oh, that could be the difference maker right there. That could be the difference maker, the shockwave. It seems like it. Unless we have a phenomenal 9 games. Oh, he's actually going up to fight it. It does look like Retro went down, though. So it is Phoenix by himself, and he falls. They're trading off games, but right now, Zyro and Chris lead the series 2-1. So thank you again, Ink, dude. Just chill, bro. Ink, chill. I don't know if that's your allowance. Good grades money. Alright, so the longer this one takes, the more and more it goes into Victor V and Kanata's favor. They're able to loot around the actual POI. They're farming up more of the metal and the hard mats, while Suds and Koff are literally just stuck in that building. Alright, got Blizzard and Krot 2B. You guys said top of Latte landing. Let's go ahead and check on Echo and Vert. 56 points so far. Why did Echo change his name mid-tournament? And then why did he change it to that? Ink just paid for my 8 children's college tuition. Oh, come on. Let this lurk work. Let this lurk work. Surprised they're not building up like Reet and Cooper were doing. Echo Taki coaching. Okay. At least it makes sense. They're all out for now. You guys remember the good old days when you let's say watch ads for bits? That's a good first shot right there from Blizzard, backing him down. Are they going to take the bait, try to chase, which would give Echo a good opportunity to land a shot? It does not look like it. Everybody disengaging out towards the outside. Bert and Echo going right back on over to Latte landing. Just trying to get in what's missing here. The zone does pull in their favor this time around, unlike some of the other games. We might have a little bit of easier time here early on. Bak and Pars looking good. Let's go ahead and check down the leaderboard right now. With Victor V and Kanata still over at Sandy Strip. They haven't necessarily fought the fight outside of the initial down to start the game. But with the zone moving, they're basically center zone, so nothing to worry about. B-Dog and Minute. Top of the mountain just outside Dark Dominion. They're actually covering 2 different edges. Just trying to get as much surge as possible. Monk and Raze towards the side. I was looking for Caden and Dustin. Ooh, okay. Somebody want to see Caden and Dustin? Well, here you go. Fun fact. Back when you could watch ads for bits, I watched like 20 of them to get 100 bits, and the streamer I donated to ignored me. Bro, there was a thing, if you used to watch it late at night, sometimes you would get like a 300 bits, 400 bits. And I used to save up and give like $20 in bits to people. Only 4 points so far, and that points come in this game. They already got 1 elimination. Not sure how Caden took so much damage, but Fuzz and Blink really make him regret that peek. And I don't even know how, but Vert is down. Or say Echo is down, leaving Vert by himself. And I don't know who it is, but they're on the chase. Eric's and Darky. They already got that 1 elimination. They assume he went back this way, but Vert cut back towards the zone, not outside. Tfue and Ninja were eliminated early on. They got eliminated by Peterbot and Click's duo. Alright, continue to look down the list right now. Youngin and Hilly, 12. Elimination win. Youngin clutching up, putting them inside of the top 3. And remember, just like Central, these guys are playing for a summit spot at the Major 1 LAN, and there's only 3 up for grabs. Oh, we got Peepo, Evolved. You see they're fighting over the mending machine. Take a look on the outside. Shipsky's here along with Braden underneath. A lot of space, a lot of builds, but Shipsky's right now the one taking a lot of the pressure, both from the wall and the other side. Trying to take the floor back. Peopletron doesn't want to let it go for free. They have control over the wall on the mending machine, but there's a stair in between, so no worries. What's up, Rex? Doing good? How about yourself? What's up, Simon? I think just FNCS came too fast and it's going too fast, if that makes sense. Like, after tomorrow, it's done. Which is crazy to think about. Double Chaos Reloader. Just trying to go ahead and play for position over the mending machine. Kanada's looking good. Let's take a look at Zeno and Zuki's here. They were the ones who took down Epic Will and Pump off spawn. Quickly rotated on over towards Dark Dominion. Using this spot to get their medal. Right now, Kanada and Vic are in first. The problem I think happens with Grands is like if you look at trios, when all 3 Grands are decided by 4 or less eliminations, it's like hard to beat that. What's up, Copy? Subscribe with Prime, dude. Welcome to the club. Check on Salco and Yumi. Yeah, and since it's duo Spokey, the good players get spread around, if that makes sense. No, I don't. For the most part. Yumi's here. Let's go and check another look at Kanata and Victor V. Still the gray AR. Really nothing to worry about. They're over at Sandy. They have the blob. Victor V passing over a lot of his materials, and he's just going back down low to refarm up. Capped off the mats as much as possible. Let's check who's outside of the map. Eric still trying to make their way in Vert. Still trying to get the reboot onto Echo. And then we got Baka and Pars rotating from Squibbly. What's up, M Busy? What'd you get to eat, Don? You can't say you're eating food and not share with the class. Mez and them are fighting. Don't know exactly where it's at. Oh, come on. Please don't do this. Swords trying to make their way in. Icy's down low towards the bottom. Blood Gangster's trying to save it right now with Scissor down. In and out. I love me a good in and out. I get a double burger with fries. They're trading reses right now. Tups is down. Mez is getting the res. Scissor's down. Blood Gangster's getting the res. Oh, they're pushing forward. Looks like they're pushing right back on forward. I'm not sure why, but they might not have any resources. Using the Fizz to try and heal. Good opportunity for them to really pick themselves back up when seemingly having nothing. Mythic AR, he can easily melt through those builds if he wanted to, but inside of the zone, doesn't want to go ahead and force a fight, but they force it onto him, especially with the pre-edited builds. They try to sneak one through into the wall. Scissor quickly repositions on the other side. You see him lurking around. Here's the footsteps from Mez and Tubbs up above. This is just trying to bide his time. Wait to see where the next zone is going to go. Burt still trying to make his way in. B-Dog and Minute already in the zone. Second place right now for B-Dog and Minute. You have Chugs, Double Pizzas, Two Bigs, Shockwaves, and decent shotguns in the inventory. Kanata and Victor V already making their way on over from the north side of the map. Sandy Strip.
just refarming, replenishing. That's what they've been doing every step of the way. Let's try to find somebody who's below the damage threshold, though. 422 above. Eric's and Darky coming in from Painted Palms. 697 above. Cops and Suds still at Sandy Strip. 81 above. Vert and Echo. I want to imagine they're below, but no, they're also going to be above. Who's below in this lobby then if Vert and Echo aren't? Have a good night, Rex. Minute and B-Dog got to be up above. Kanata and Vic, they're going to be above. Trying to look at what teams are doing here on this stack side of the zone. Does look like Chipsky and Peopletron are still battling it out here. Peopletron 86 above, barely above, but still looking off into the distance. Teams failed to rotate in early. They're the ones that are going to be the main focus of everybody that's already inside of the zone. You got to teach me how, Elmo, after this game, but yes, thank you. 114 above. Larco's and OC rotating in from the north side. They have the long launch pad that they're trying to utilize. 287. Being in chase. Can we find somebody that's below the damage threshold, please? Chris and Zyro making it in. 250 above. It seems like everybody's above the damage threshold, I guess. Poppy Blast and Chicken. Even they're above the damage threshold. 5 p.m. Eastern, Pixel. You shouldn't be able to redeem it, Lotto. That's the thing. It might still be there, but you shouldn't be able to actually redeem it. Watch people that anyone cares about. Bro, okay, look, this is what happens, dude. Let's watch somebody that somebody cares about real quick. Hold on. Well, you know, you have a great idea. I'm thinking, why didn't I necessarily think of that? Oh, they're finally rotating. Nice. 382 above. You just get the replay code and you go in the game. And very, very entertaining so far. Watching Kanata rotate in. Good thing we weren't searching for a fight. Up. Riveting gameplay. Nice. You see that shockwave, bro? Good thing we're watching Kanata and Vic right now. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Look at this rotation, bro. They haven't got shot at once. You are right, man. Thank gosh we watched this. Oh, they're not in zone yet. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, look at that shock right there. That shock was nice, bro. It gave them the effect inside of the box. Nice. Ooh, they got shot at. Finally something happened. Hold on, I have to ask real quick. Let me stop trolling. Let me stop trolling. Let me stop. Because I'm a troll. Poppy Blast Chicken, 78 points right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard. You see, what's on Salco and Yumi, you know, 98 points, doing fairly well so far, but they find themselves 17 below. What a pick here. Now, this is a team you want to watch. 12 damage, still not enough to get above the damage threshold. Vert and Echo are going to be underneath. They're probably going to be in a weird spot when it comes to Surge as well. Looking back, Scissors taking a lot of the focus. X is there as well. Salco cleans up the elimination, barely getting above the damage threshold. Instantly tries to make his way on over and gets tagged up, quickly falling below. And now it's active Surge. Every 7 seconds, 25 damage onto Salco and Yumi. Hopefully all these pizzas make it worth it. They can try to out-heal it and survive, but they can also try to fight back. For Yumi and Salco, though, decisions. Pizza's already being dropped. Far pool on this next zone, so it does look like they're going to spend some time trying to spend as much heals as possible before they make their way on over, and that's when they're going to try to solidify some damage. Chase is here. He's going to be above the damage threshold. Vanillas and Haju, 152. They made it inside of the zone, but they're getting pushed further and further back. Rough spot to be in, but they're somehow figuring out a way to make it work. Ratgun Slixies, 400 above the damage threshold. They're going to go ahead and use their shockwaves. Literally the farthest distance to rotate in the lobby right now in this zone is coming out from Ratgun and Slixies. Luckily for them, they built themselves a little bit of a cushion when it comes to Storm Surge. They can focus on rotating in, but now they have to be careful. Others take an approach right behind. Timko, I believe that's him and Fly, but no, it looks like it's Cade, and he gets tagged up. Ratgun bites off a little bit more than he can chew, trying to reposition. Slixies as well, but he's not getting tagged up just as much as his teammate. They got to figure out a way back into the same box, hip to hip, to try to alleviate some of that pressure. Even though they're only one box away, Slixies and Ratgun have managed to do it. But now the zone is overtaken, and the team is already rotating on out. So they not only did damage to Slickguns and Ratgun and Slixies, they're making them eat Storm as well on top of it. Oh, I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not. Accidentally hits the glide, trying to go towards the left side. Slixies just gets tagged up. Unfortunate circumstances strike onto Slixies, which really leaves Ratgun by himself. That's a lot of pressure for Solo to have to go through. We got Chris and Zyro, winners of Game 1. Went down off spawn in Game 2. Really trying to come back and make up for it here in Game 3. They were not afraid to go for high ground. So if any team's going to be the one to try to at least lay claim to it early, it is going to be them. We got Doxy, Xpawn as well. Look around, see who else is having a good game. Source and Skull still up, 307 points above the damage threshold. Much more clear of a rotation for them than some of the other players in this lobby. But they're just waiting for the last possible second. Zone to force them in. Shockwaving towards the left, letting it open up. They see Icy. They see Compton there. They quickly build to protect themselves. Even with the zone mere few inches away, they're using that shockwave to try to go ahead and get on the other side of that mountain, but they get beat by a whole nother team, making it hard for them to find a spot. Baka and Pars still alive, 107. This is almost a make or break game for Baka and Pars. 2 games outside of the top 15 so far. Baka getting tagged up on the other side. Eric's trying to break his way into the box, but he gets shunned down, taken out. That was a solo trying to make a play on a duo, but really has no opportunity there. Baka and Pars already inside of the zone. Looks like Pars is trying to hold on to the builds. Let high ground get bored so that way they can slow things down just a little bit. 327 above, waiting for where the next zone pulls them. And it does go back towards Sus Studios. So for Baka and Pars, they do have a far pull compared to some others, but it's not going to be the farthest one overall. B-Dog, Minute, they're already in the front side of zone. Victor, V, and Kanata, they're already well on their way there. Sains and Bro-Crows, they're at the back side of the zone overall. Back send to tab the stream. Well, thanks, bro. I love Fortnite community, bro. 460 for Vic and Kanata. Just trying to go ahead and shockwave on over the other side. They quickly build above another team. Reunite back in the same box. They know they can't one-hop it with that shockwave. They get ahead of some of the teams, and they look back. This is Virus. This is Hezi. They have to disengage out of that box, fall towards that low ground in order to get out alive. They turn around, 180. They see X-Spawn, they see Doxy. They quickly try to go ahead and bleed some of those shots through. Freshly built metal, easy to break through those walls before they rotate on over. Take note that they continue to remain elevated here in this endgame. This is where Kanata's noticing Xeno's there on the other side, trying to break his way in, catch him off guard, but Xeno's just lurking around, not wanting to get caught out of position here. They're already on the high ground. They do not want to let it go for free. Kind of see what they're lurking at. Icy's there, Xeno, Zuki's there, going to be on the high ground. They send themselves flying. Kanata, Victor V, they're ready to bite for the high ground. Zuki's fires the first shot. That one's not going to connect, and they immediately give it up. Victor V and Kanata have momentarily claimed name to that high ground, forcing every other team down below. And you see them focusing out the second height. Haju as well. Vanilla's taking damage. Xeno, the once leaders of that high ground, forced to the front side of zone. Shockwaving is there as Victor V and Kanata maintain their presence up above. They fought for this, and they're trying to hold on to it. But you see, they only have 10 builds left. That's going to be the thing for Kanata and Victor V. They will not be able to hold on to the high ground for zone after zone after zone. They have to get an elim, but they work too hard. Kanata goes down. He gets the elim, but he loses Victor V along the way. It's a flip-flop of game number 1 where Kanata went down early. Victor V was forced to clutch up, and now it's Kanata's chance to return that favor. Splash is going out. Making sure to heal up here. 200 effective shield and HP. Trying to go ahead and bounce back. Cloney is still left alive. Minute and B-Dog, second place team on the heels. They get taken down. Baka and Pars find a way to get that elimination as well, but Pars does go down. Everybody's getting separated, forced to run around as solos here. B-Dog as well, 166. trying to keep a spot on the leaderboard intact here, but with no builds, that one's going to look difficult. Somebody eliminated on the backside of zone. B-Dog finally gets spotted out on the front side. He gets taken down as well. It does look like Baka was able to get another elimination here. 88 points. Sane's going to be up above 126 and counting, but Kanata is still left alive. 196 points. Coming into NA West, he said this one is going to be a cakewalk. And so far, first place after 2 games, looking to go ahead and make it first place after 3 games as well, as he's breaking through these walls here, trying to refarm as much as possible. Zone is opening up in his favor. Gives him a little bit more time and room to work with here. Digital is going to be up above 66 points. His run as a solo is slowly but surely coming to an end. Tries to hide in the cone. It's the only real option he has. Bocro's insane up above. Not giving up on this pressure. Continuously focusing onto that second height, which is Compton and Icy. We're going over recycled builds, though. Gives a little bit of room for them to work with. Kanata still left alive as a solo. Baka still left alive as a solo. For Baka, this is a make or break game. With the first 2 games not going him and Pars' way, they really put a lot of pressure on themselves. Otherwise, they're going to fall so far behind. It might be impossible for them to catch up, especially with the storm sickness warning. That one's real. Baka tries to get the elim for the siphon. Not going to be able to clean that one up, so he's going to go down. Got to imagine, though, a much better performance in the last 2 games so far. But Kanata is still holding true. One of 2 solos left in this game, finding a treasure trove of loot on the other side. Floppers to keep himself in the zone just a little bit longer. Splashes are there as well. A little bit of extra on top. He picks up the Thunder Burst so he can burst through some of these builds, but this is his chance. The zone pushing further and further out. He has to figure out how he's going to make this play. Zyro, Chris, they get spotted out. Good damage from Kanata, but not enough to push forward and try to get that elimination. With only 2 floppers left, his time is 100% running out. He's trying to find a whole nother path to get inside the zone, even bypassing that chug jug. You got to imagine there wasn't much on it, but he finds a crevice, a small part of the zone that he could feel confident making his way in, but without any builds, that confidence slowly but surely going right out the window up until now. Almost a max pump onto one, misses the opportunity on the other. Zyro returns back for seconds. Kanata lands another shot, but he gets stuck underneath, down to zone. He goes down. Chris and Zyro will be the first winners of 2 different games here in this finals, over 214 points. You know, 2 wins so far, 2 wins so far. Where are they at? Chris and Zyro at 214 now. 2 points ahead of Victor V and Kanata. A 50-point gap is starting to emerge between 2nd and 3rd place. And then Minute has about a 17-point gap between him and 4th place. And top 3 is what we're looking for this weekend for the global spots. Top 1 is for the FNCS championship. Yeah, they are doing crazy, because you imagine if they don't lose off spawn. Even if they don't win, let's just add 30 points, half of the placement. It's looking good. It's a good one. This is a good one. This is a good one. He said, nah, man, he definitely played 1st and 3rd, but decided that Chris experienced his first crans 2nd game. But Mom, he won't let me play. Wait, what? I saw something and I missed it. What's up, LJ? Let's check down the leaderboard, though. Bocro's Sane falling down a little bit. Hilly and Youngin still there. Source and School. Zeno Zukis. Erics and Darky. Yumi Salco. Icy and Compton. Haas and Lonely. Rays and Monk. Evolved Pipro. Baka and Pars. Finally, top 6. 2 Elims. Expon Doxy. We got Raygun and Slixies for top 16. And we only got, you know, we got 2 of them still on 0. But I guarantee you everybody in NA West Finals will get at least 1 point. Guaranteed. I'm assuming Clicks and Peterbot aren't playing this because they surely aren't low. Yeah, it's their, you can only play one region of FNCS, and they're on Central. They chose to take the easy way out, you know? Yeah, you go to Fortnite replays. You go to this website here. You go to here. You grab this. You go to this. Copy it. You go here. You go here. You go here. You go here. And then you go here and you hit paste. That's the old game. You learn something new every day. You're welcome. Wait, Chris has 0 earnings? Whoa, whoa, whoa. How did we go to Central? What the? Twitter matches his old one? Bro, I don't really know who this... I don't really know who Manny is. Manny came, like, after I was watching West. It's Chris. I don't really know. I'm not going to investigate. It's not my job. How does this affect Peterbot? Obviously, Peterbot's legacy is being tarnished by this. I think it's obvious.
Have some news.
Have some news. What's the news?
I won some auctions.
We won some auctions. What did we buy?
Bag brand new.
We got a brand new sleeping bag.
$30.
$30, brand new. $140 sleeping bag for $30.
Woo!
That's a deal. All right, when's next game starting? We don't know yet. You must find the rats inside the community. I'm okay with finding them. The problem is I don't know Chris. I barely know enough about Zyro. I don't know Manny. I don't know how to find information on who and who. And I'm not going to start a wild goose chase that, you know, I know nothing about. You can use that for when she kicks you out of the house. That's what I'm saying, Elmo. For a $140 sleeping bag for $30, it better come with some extra, like, warmth. All right, waiting for the next game to start. Game number 4 coming up. We already got 3 games done today. 3 more to go. Interesting how stacked this top 13 is going to be. Like, obviously, the top of the leaderboard, they're going to kind of run away with it. I'm stupid. Top 13 doesn't matter. This region's top 3. I already forgot in this moment. It's not going to be that close. It's going to be close, but it's not going to be that close. So I was 39K earned. Boom. I've been good, Faded. How you been? You brawling? You think it's going to be a 2-horse race between Vic and Zyro? I don't think so. I think somebody's going to catch up. I think it's going to be a 3-horse race. I think the top 3 teams that go to Summit is going to at least have like a 40-point gap, 50-point gap between 3rd and 4th. That's what I think. But we're just waiting for the games. Just so you guys know, between divisional finals and this, there's a longer gap in between the games. Just so you guys know. I am Puerto Rican. I do not speak Spanish. Take that as you will. Kanata wins, Zyro comes 3rd, Youngin comes 3rd. How do 2 teams come in 3rd? What'd you think about Bolts? I think Bolts is the truth. Bolts won a solo LAN. There hasn't been very many solo LANs, but Bolts has won a DreamHack solo competition. He is an FNCS champion on West. He's contended for titles before, and now he's playing with one of the greatest IGLs of all time. And his DreamHack LAN was an open LAN, so it wasn't a West win. It was an open win from Atlanta. There were some EU pros there, but not that many, so take that as you will. How does this affect Cookie Monster's legacy, bro? They're going to be running out of cookies soon. Kanata Minute Baka, I know the future trust. I'm down for a Baka top 3. Where's Bolt's Acorn landing? Top mountain. They're uncontested top mountain. All right, let's see. Next game. Not yet.
What are some of your guys' biggest surprises in this tournament so far? I think Epic and Pump doing as bad as they have been doing so far. 3 games, 27th, 30th, 50th, 3 elims. I think this is the biggest surprise of the tournament so far. Baka comeback. I'm with it. Just think about this. If we call it Div 3, Div 3 is basically Div 1. Div 1 is basically FNC and grab. Bro, Elmo, if we would have called that a Div 3, we would be playing right now. I'm just saying. We would be playing right now. We might have been down here on the leaderboard, but we would have been playing. Yo, Cats, another gifted sub. Kiro? Make sure you say thank you to the boss. Phoenix too, but he's conned. Yeah, I really wanted to see Phoenix. That's true. Yeah, Phoenix and Retro. Phoenix and Retro and Epic Well, I think some of the biggest surprises today. People are only watching this because they want to see the possibility of someone conning Peterbot. Huh? Waiting for the game to start. All right, okay, we got it. All right, we got the game. We should be able to go directly in it this time. Right on the clock. Yo, thank you, Raiju. For some reason, mine loads a little slow, but yeah. Where do you think Bolts ranks on him in NA? That's a good question. I don't know about all time. I don't think I've been, like, too locked in to fairly do an all-time list. All right, so we have the POVs. We got one mini map. Bad POVs. So we're going to go ahead and do this again. Somebody just got down. Sorry, Mez. We knew it was coming, let's be honest. Team Clicks or Team Pete? Oh, forget both of them. What about Team Agers and Ritual? Are the POVs still broken? There we go. Oh, Coughs and Suds are leaving Sandy's strip. Kanata and Victor V are now uncontested. Did Phoenix and Retro already win off spawn? Phoenix and Retro, Clean Wipe, Zyro, and Chris. Okay, come on. Oh, good damage. Contest the top building. Chris goes underneath. No gun. They get wiped just like that. All right, pumping Epic. Yo, no more being contested. Push him out. Push him out. Oh, that's actually a really good shot by Hearn. Epic, well, he's going to be up above. Epic well knows one's trying to run away. Quickly shockwaves over, not to give up a free shot. He's still on top of the mountain. Good damage and down on the first. Hearn falls. Epic with the back-to-back off spawn. Team Agers and Ritual. Oops. Team Agers and Ritual. Ah, we messed it up. Oh well. We tried to do something cool. Yo, Elmo, how do I go away, bro? We tried to do something cool. We messed up. Maybe next time. South Ballywood, good. Riptides is now clear. Latte Landing, almost uncontested. Sandy Strip, we know that's uncontested. Baka and Pars might be the only ones, but Dark and Snevy take down Baka and Pars, it looks like, off spawn. Alright, I'll do that right after this. Let's check it out. Oh, Pars is already down. Baka's by himself. Tries to shockwave away. Good damage from up above, and they get the cleanup. Oof. 2 bad games. I start to think they're building the momentum, and then they go down off spawn. Okay, you said do this. Click my picture. Go away. Oh, it is away. Compton Icy. Yup. Does look like they left. Trying to see where they went. Tubbs is there at the top by himself. Don't know where his teammates at. Hazo and LaHunt. Does look like they're pushing down below. Keen and Zare over on the side. Kimco and Fly. Drew is here. Susie. Rays. What is going on here? What do we have here, boy? Check out Yumi and Salco's point of view, though. Uh-oh. Good damage on Develo. Yumi gets the knock. Xenon's peeking through the cone. Yumi doesn't fall for that bait. Immediately boxes up. One player is trying to get out and disengage. One player is stuck. So they're just going to be happy with that one elimination and not go on a wild goose chase. Wait, what? Not bad, not bad. Going to check out this fight. Chase and Bean versus Caden and Dustin. Okay. I want to see the confidence build here. 62 points. Don't make finals and just give up. We have 4 pizzas. We have no mobility here in this inventory, though. No mobility in this inventory. Yep, it does look like B-Dog and them were contested. Susie and Gabix do take down both B-Dog. Let's go and check out the other one real quick. B-Dog and Minutes. 2nd place or 3rd. I've just been eliminated here. Let's check how it happened. Oh, they're lurking. They cut off their loot path. They cut off the loot path on the top of the mountain. They get the Elim onto one. Looking around, spots out B-Dog, looking to get the Elim on the other. Pressure from one side, cones him off, gets the floor in. B-Dog tries to get an edit course going, but everything gets chopped down along with his hopes and dreams in Game 4. Yo, Flobby, I'm telling you, this weekend is going to be some of the best FNCS, man. You don't want to miss it. Did Ryan Tron get an Elim out here? Ryan? Oh, 4 Elims from Ryan? And I don't know who this other guy is. I don't remember at least. Is Tups in the game by himself or is his teammate dead? Mez is dead. Boko's insane, rotating out, so he's just trying to hide his position. Not give it up for free here. Lurking around the map. Let's see who else. I thought everybody disengaged out of this fight once. But it does look like Vanilla Haju's here along with Bean and one other team, Dustin. They're fighting for the mending machine. Epic is alive, Josephi. They win their contested drop-off spawn, and they're just kind of chilling in Wonky Land. Nada's still alive, uncontested Sandy Strip. Phoenix and Retro win the off-spawn against Zyro and Chris, so they are 2-2. The only difference is, when Zyro and Chris get to play, they win games. When Phoenix and Retro play, they did not win the games. Nella's here. Let's check out the leaderboard. Chris is already down. Victor V and Kanata over at Sandy Strip. I like the respect right now from Kanata. Giving the purple Chaos Reloader on over to Vic, allowing for him to get the surge in the distance. And he's kind of just farming up. Let's go and check who's on the outside. Jules and Caesar. A lot of these water rotates coming out from Jules and Caesar. Trying to use it to get to the top side of the map. Out being noticed here. But they got to go against Choppa and Stu here. Eventually they will see each other. Making it here on the island. How do you fix double mini match glitch? You just go in the replay and you go ahead. You click ahead.
Bean is down along with Fly. Jules and Caesar just kind of lurking backside. Timko and Fly. I did think I saw a knock here. Yep. Chase is stuck down below by himself. Dude, I just clicked off of this and they got an elim? The lurk worked. 96. Choppa goes down. Another 2 elims for Caesar. Check out Epic and Pump. All purple. We got pizzas. We got chugs. We're going right back on up. We got gold AR. We got the blue Chaos Reloader. So not a bad spot to be in either for Epic. Well, just waiting for the zone to push everybody in. Not just this zone, but probably the next one as well. They'd use their wonky wheel to get in safely. Go ahead and take a look at... Let's check out Zeno and Zuki's here for a moment. I think Jules... I think it's Jules, no? I think it's Jules. You're welcome, Taser. Just positioned up above. Look down the leaderboard as well. Yumi and Salco over at Frigid Fortress. Uncontested drop. No real reason to force any bit of movement here. Dude, there's like no fights. 68 people alive, dude. What is this? Everybody's just flying at each other or something. Is there no roof over this? There really is no roof over this. He's just hiding right there. Kanada's looking good, Dubcat. He has 75 builds. He just doesn't want to build or move or switch weapons. Uh-oh. Tough. Max pull from this side of the map for Chase. It's a blessing and a curse. Maybe he can get the reboot if he tries hard enough, but maybe not as well. Epic and Pump still waiting to rotate in on the side. Jules and Caesar are going to take the big launch pad on the other edge. For Chase, a blessing does happen, though. Timko and Fly rotate on out. Back on board, Victor V and Kanata. 212 above the damage threshold. Just getting into the zone. Kind of going for there. Are you streaming Watch Party for OCE? Nah, doesn't, God, what is his name? OC Dex? What is his name? Yeah, Dex, dude. Like, if I streamed OCE, I would sound like I've never seen any of these players in my life. Thank you, Hydra. Watch Rat Gun right now? Who said that? Who said that? Yo, Penta, why is that your name? I'm just wondering. I know nobody here. Mercy, bro. This is time for you to learn. OC is selling, bro. Yeah, pros dying to storm and do the crazy, bro. I just know that somebody didn't know how to use the wonky wheel. And I don't know how you don't know how to use the wheel. I can barely rotate out of my own box, but I can use the wonky wheel. I was like, where's his loadout? Dropping the fish, keeping the splashes. Waiting for last possible second to rotate on out. Heard the riff from Squibbly. Quick couple of tags for Retro. Restarting tomorrow on the... I have no idea what you mean. Oatly? Was it Oatly? I swear I watched somebody on EU as well. Or maybe it was a different read. Maybe it was like Asia or something.
It's also a Sunday on a public holiday. Wait, what? Wait. Oh. All right, let's go ahead and take a look right now. See how some of these rotations are going for them. They're fine. Villanova Haju's looking all right. Storm Surge is not going to turn on until maybe 6. Yeah, I'm going to say 6 zone, but it is look like it's going to be a 5th zone. Scissor and Blood Gangsta underneath. Zaire and Keen, 322 above. Cougar and Trunks, 251. Jules and Caesar, you got to imagine they're above. Yep, 493. They steal the Frigid Fortress Surge Tower. I think that was Zeno and Zuki's. Could be wrong, though. Phoenix and Retro still just waiting for time to pass, for the zone to open up, giving them space to work with, utilizing their splashes for the HP. Dark and Snevy, 600 above. Then we got Kanata and Victor V, wasting no time getting into the edge zone as well. Looking back, spot out Trunk. Even though Cougar already made his way in, his teammate does not have that same luxury. I'm from California, brother. I'm Puerto Rican from California. No Spanish. Call me fake. I don't care. I know Sabo kid, you know. Teeny also, yeah. Kanata and Vic. Trying to look who else is Slixies and Ratgun. 128 above the damage threshold. X-Pon and Doxy. 469. Trying to see, like, points-wise, where's everybody at? Bocro's insane. That's what I was looking for. 50 above. Ooh, 146 below, actually. Yeah, C-Tray. At least I'm honest, though. Who do you have winning NAC tomorrow? Either Ages of Ritual or Acorn and Bolts. But if you ask me tomorrow, I'm probably going to change my answer, so... Active Surge for Bocro's insane. Every 7 seconds, 25 damage for Bocro's. They have a max pull. This is not going to get any easier for them. They have to shockwave while finding damage and shaving the only little bit of Chug Jug they do have left. So they're going to have to shock individually here, but they spot out Digital. Matt, they try to cut off the path. A quick little sidestep from Bocro's. Going to keep himself going and alive, but he eventually gets cut down short. Sane there, trying to alleviate the pressure, get some sort of elimination. He does have the builds, but he's just trying to get inside of the box. Active Surge. He connects with a big one onto Matt, but not enough to get him above the damage threshold. No extra heals. He is on the clock here. Time is almost running out. Almost getting a big elim on the map, but Digital is there to save the day. Yo, Steven, thank you for the raid, brother. Thank you for sharing your community with me. Who do I think is winning OCE? I know even less about... is Alex in first? I know Alex. Pump and Epic already in the zone. Pump and Epic need a win. If they do not get a win here, you can almost feel the top 3. You can almost feel the first place slipping through their fingers. They're only 64 above the damage threshold, though. Zuki's is down on the other side. They're trying to go ahead and bleed some of those shots through the builds. Not able to connect with any onto Zuki, so it's not going to get any easier when it comes to their Storm Surge. Sees the elim down below, the loot. Pump is toying with the idea of actually going for it there. Not just yet. Trying to see where the zone does end up. Forcing teams out. Grabs the gold. An extra bit of utility in that side of the zone. Epic well. Was there not a med kit? Am I dumb? $126 above. I just need to cast. 126 above. Epic's there. And trying to look around, see who else is still up in this game. We got Eric's, Raze, and Monk trying to rotate on over. 251 above the damage threshold. Sees Phoenix on the other side. Almost gets caught off guard by Bean and Chase. Tups does get Mez back into the game. Second chance at life here. Sometimes that's all you truly need. Dark and Eric's inside of the top 100. Victor V and Kanata 376. They're trying to go ahead, not only get that first place back,
They need 2 points here. 1 elim placement points for them to be the #1 team here. Looking through. Here's the team fighting down below. Shots up above. A whole nother team boxing next to them. They're not getting desperate here. They're not forcing any plays, but it does look like they're taking 1 step forward. Maybe trying to go ahead and surprise that team on that wall. Pre-edit might be the occasion. Doxy, Xpawn, 263 above. 10 players need to go down for Storm Surge to turn off. 1 team needs to go down before placement points start to set in. Phoenix does find himself with another elimination here. We'll figure it out. Easier way to look through it all. Suds switched up the drop spot, left Sandy Strip, went over to Sus Studios. More placement points so far in this game than the other ones so far, but it's only going to last for so long before his run does come to an end. Beepo's there on the other side. Tubbs getting pressed, getting pushed further and further back, trying to hold on, but that's Timko and Fly burning through the materials, even letting 1 shot go through. That's going to land onto Mez. Kind of making it hard for him to feel comfortable in this situation. We got Vanillas. We got Haju on high ground. Might be early on in this game. You see everybody trying to shockwave up the side of this mountain. Going over towards Frigid Fortress means it's not going to be easy for anybody to find their footing. But Vanillas, he's on the high ground. He gets contested. Blood Gangsta, I do believe that was. Mez as well. Multiple teams going up, trying to contest this high ground. But Haju chops it down, trying to negate any opportunity teams have. But Pipotron enters into the mix as well. The relentless pressure for high ground might cost everyone everything here, but Pipotron evolved. They're going to be the ones on the other side. Zone finally overtakes Vanillas and Haju here. Now they're officially on the clock here, trying to figure out how long they can stay in their position. Not for long, as Pipo and Evolve now have the high ground. It changes hands yet again, but not for free. Vanillas, Haju's, they put pressure up above. They want to make sure they know if you're going to take high ground, it's not going to come for free. Gonna have to watch your back every step of the way. Shockwave to the back of the box, then right up to the front yet again. Vanillas, Haju, they went ahead and contested the high ground, and somehow, some way, they've reclaimed it as their own. There might be 1 team up above. Ryantron's going up. They're trying to chop him down. Haju looks to reconnect. The shockwaves, the fizz is what's causing a little commotion here. They accidentally bump inside of the box. They meant to drop down. That means Haju has to use all his builds just to reach the ground floor. Vanillas as well has to dig deep in the pockets of Tricks, trying to use the shockwave to stay alive. Vanillas, Haju doing everything they can. Evolve, Pipotron, they've been giving up the high ground. I'm not sure anybody's still going to be up there. Xpawn and Doxy have now taken the high ground away. Ryantron had no choice but to give that one up, and we've already had 4 teams go for high ground. It changed hands each and every time here, but for Pump and Epic, they need a big game here. It's not just about the high ground. You need a victory royale. You need a certain number of eliminations. You fell asleep at the wheel to start this tournament. Bad things happen, and now you need to make up for it. They find another 5th one of the game so far for Epic Well and Pump. A little bit of a refresh, the bare minimum, but that could be enough for Pump and Epic Well, holding on to what they have, trying to do what they can. Even Ryantron forced to give up that high ground. Vanillas and Haju's been doing a good job of holding on to it ever since then. Monk's still alive. Yumi and Sauko trying to get the piece from up above. They take down Clot. Blizzard is next, but he's barely able to fall outside of that build, surviving. Pump's going to go down. Epic Whale's going to fall. That's going to be a huge elimination, though, for Dark and Snevy. Andy over at Dark Dominion. Scissors going up by himself. No Blood Gangsta in sight. He's ready to contest the high ground. That's Xpawn trying to fight for it. He gets the elimination. The Siphon is what's really keeping him alive up top. Really running out of builds. Almost everybody in this game is left as solos except for a handful of players, including Yumi and Sauko. One of 2 duos left alive in this game, and they're trying to control the down low part of the map. Snevy on the other side along with Dark. Both are duos actually down below, so this could be an opportunity for a solo to clutch up a big game here as Sauko tries to push Snevy outside of the zone. Basically a battle from the front side. Both duos going back and forth trying to get control, but they, instead of going forward, they go up trying to battle the high ground. They get the elimination onto Timko, but Yumi does go down. Sauko by himself. Pressure from all around. Gabix gets the elimination. Bleeds the shot through the build. 1v2 situation for Dark and Snevy. This is a chance to rise up the leaderboards to close the gap before day number 2. Snevy gets shockwaved out of zone. Dark takes a big bunch of damage, but he deals it as well. It was looking bleak for Snevy, but they're able to clutch up and win the game. I'm out of breath, dude. I need... So there's darky and then there's dark. There's icy and then there's icy. All right, let's check the leaderboard now. Let's check the leaderboard. Victor V and Kanata still in first place. Even with their worst game of the tournament so far, 22nd with 0 elims. Got Chris and Zyro in second, 2 and 2 off spawn. First, 48th, 50th. Yumi and Sauko with a top 3 finish in that game. They move up the leaderboards. Minute and B-Dog going down in 40th place. They're still able to hold on to some sort of a point gain. X-Spawn and Doxy in 5th. Hilly and Youngin, Bo Crow's Insane, Erics and Darky. Was that the last game? No, that's a different one. Ray Gun Slixies, Rays, Monk, Evolved and Peopletron, Susie and Gabik, Source and Schools, Dino and Zukis, and then Hezi and Virus rounding out top 15. We got Baka and Pars, 47th place, going down essentially off spawn. Kind of stops any momentum they were building as each placing before that was getting better. Look down the leaderboard just a little bit. 27th, 30th, 50th, each game getting worse, and then they pop out for the 9th with 5th. They have 2 games left. Even though it's almost going to be impossible for them to take first, they could definitely get close. No, they are not unconned. They are contested. You think Alex will be top 20 grands? I think he came to grands before on Central, and I don't remember where he finished. Possibly. I love to keep the Fortnite love alive, you know what I mean? I don't see where anybody else to send him to. One Pump need to lock in for day 2. Locking today or day 2 would be useless. I agree, Techno. Right now, 190 is the gap for the Summit LAN, and they're at 66. Phoenix and Retro at 62 as well. Another team I thought would perform well. Xenon and Velo, I would never have expected them with 0 points in last, but sometimes that's what the contested drops do. Baka and Pars, another team, 22nd, even though they haven't had the start of the year that anybody would think 2-time major champions would have. I expected them to do better. Luckily, there is day 2. I've seen stranger things happen. I'm not talking about the Netflix show. Like Gangsta SZA, Source School. Okay, not after that. I mean, Kanata Victor V doing what Kanata came to do. Not very high, sadly. Yep. I do remember exactly, so I didn't want to say something exactly, but you know. How much does Fortnite Psy you per grand finals? I don't know what Psy is. They're fighting for the most part, Dante. For the most part. Phoenix Retro for the Pred, by the way. Okay, hold on. You got that, Biscuit? Or is Biscuit here? Phoenix and Retro for the Pred. Do you host your own tourneys? Yes and no. Usually I don't have anybody that plays in them. You know, we get 12 people. Hold on. What did you say? Phoenix and Retro. How did I start casting? I don't really know, dude. I used to compete in a different game, and when I was dead, I would try it. You know? Epic dominate West when players was learning how to play. He went Central. He did good there. He came back West and realized it's not the same West. I think West is a different region because, like, Fortnite in general or Battle Royals in general are a game where you can be really good, but if the teams around you don't necessarily know the correct way to play, it hinders your performance, right? So it's like, it's almost not even how good you are, it's how you can, like, stay away from the mess as well. Why do you have to say LCL on broadcast? Because I believe that's what it was called. The last chance qualifier led to the last chance lobby. Like, if you go in the fine print, like, I'm not even lying, you go in the fine print and look up the rules and everything, that the last chance qualifier was Monday and the last chance lobby was on Tuesday.
Let's see when the next game is, though. 52. We got 2 games left, though. 2 games left. What's the name of the song in the background? Give me nostalgia. I have no idea. OG remix. Even though it says it's muted, but it's not. It's like the original lobby music because everything is copyrighted. But so far, I mean, I am surprised by some teams, Epic and Retro mainly, but overall, I can see it. Salk and Yumi have been catching fire in recent weeks. Outside of, I think, maybe play-ins or heats, Minute and B-Dog have been performing well. Doxy and X-Pawn, I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong out there, feel free, maybe a little inconsistencies on that team, especially because they landed at the bottom right of the map. Raygun and Slixies, I've seen them at the top of leaderboards early on in tournaments, but slowly kind of fizzle away as the tournament goes on. So I'm not necessarily too surprised by the overall leaderboard here. Yo, what's up, 6 Main? How we doing, bro? I need a rundown real quick. Rundown, Victor v Canada. Even though they're in first, it was solo clutches by both Victor V and Canada that essentially got him the big point games. Chris and Zyro, second place, 2 wins, but they're contested off spawn, so 2 and 2. Yumi and Sauko, decent performances. Worst is the 24th with 2, but at least they kept points going. Baka and Pars, though, the boys need to step it up. 22nd place, 23rd, 17th, 6th, and then going down off spawn. Yo, thank you. I just need to refresh this and see what, like, for some reason, I need to X off my Fortnite tracker every time and click back on, because if I leave it open, for some reason, it doesn't load. All right, too early. How did you get the game, dude? Is that even the code? You lying to me? I'm hoping they cook up a day 2, but like I genuinely like to see plenty of people perform well. We got the hydrate. Hold up. Yeah, the code's too early. It's just about time. I actually have 2 cups of water here. 2 cups of water. Just 'cause 1 cup ain't enough. What team? I think it was Arc School and Salco, but I could be wrong, Spaz. Next team come back, bro. We need a comeback. We want to see a comeback. I personally do. Let me try to refresh so we get the exact timing on this lobby, but for some reason we have the code, but Fortnite tracker isn't loading. What's new? So we'll try it manually again. Still too early. So while we wait for the code, yo, Ryu, do you know when the timer on the code? When did the game start? I'm going to go ahead and throw the replay on because just in case somebody didn't see it, we can see how that last game ended. Another 5th one of the game so far for Epic Well and Pump. A little bit of a refresh, the bare minimum, but that could be enough for Pump and Epic Well, holding on to what they have, trying to do what they can. Even Ryantron forced to give up that high ground. Vanilla Zahaji's been doing a good job of holding on to it ever since then. Monk still alive. Yumi and Sauko trying to get the piece from up above. They take down Claw. Blizzard is next, but he's barely able to fall outside of that build, surviving. Pump's going to go down. Epic Whale's going to fall. That's going to be a huge elimination, though, for Dark and Snevy. Andy over at Dark Dominion. Scissors going up by himself. No Blood Gang still in sight. He's ready to contest the high ground. That's X-Spawn trying to fight for it. He gets the elimination. The Siphon is what's really keeping him alive up top. Really running out of builds. Almost everybody in this game is left as solos except for a handful of players, including Yumi and Sauko. One of 2 duos left alive in this game, and they're trying to control the down low part of the map. Snevy
on the other side along with Dark. Both are duos actually down below, so this could be an opportunity for a solo to clutch up a big game here as Salco tries to push Stevie outside of the zone. Basically a battle from the front side. Both duos going back and forth trying to get control, but they, instead of going forward, they go up trying to battle the high ground. They get the elimination onto Timko, but Yumi does go down. Salco by himself, pressure from all around. Gabbix gets the elimination, bleeds the shot through the build. 1v2 situation for Dark and Stevie. This is a chance to rise up the leaderboards to close the gap before day number 2. Stevie gets shockwaved out of zone. Dark takes a big bunch of damage, but he deals. So when Stevie got shockwaved there, I was a little scared. We literally just got in. Seconds to wait. Thank you, Merits. Thank you. I want to say your name right. Ryuji? Okay, we got double map gone. Do we got all the POVs though? That's what I need to know. So we can see Sandy's Strips, Uncontested, Wonky Land, Squibbly, and what is the other one we were watching? Dark Dominion. Come on, jump out of the battle bus, everybody. Come on, keep jumping. Keep jumping. There we go. Keep jumping. Yeah, we should have everybody. We should have everybody. Hello? Chasing them, going to the side. Kanata once again uncontested. One dropping down over here. Checking the Dark Dominion fight out. What's up, Pop? Bro, don't make me nervous now. I get more nervous people watching me in my own stream than Cap. Get the revive, 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 get the revive. Oh, it looks like they might be winning off spawn. Retro 1v1 versus Chris right now. History says if Chris makes it off spawn, they win the game. What does Chris have on the other side, though? I'm not sure. Is he going to go for the res? Oh, third party's now coming in. Zoom out real quick. We need to take a look at Chris. Oh, the shotgun 140 getting into the box with Retro. Oh my God. Lobby, are you guys ready for Game 4 Victory Royale winners Chris and Zyro? Game 4 winners Chris and Zyro. Wonky Land. Uh-oh. Did Epic die again? No, they went to the top. They went to the top so they didn't get taken down off spawn. So Epic and Pump, we're going to go back and check that one out here soon. Cars and Baka, they leave out of Dark Dominion, go through the tunnels, and they take out Digital. Changing the game up, and they got the unstable game 4, game 5, game 5. You right, you right. Sandy's uncontested. Riptide's looking like it's uncontested. Mez and Tups there. North side of Battlewood is still contested, and then so is Dark Dominion. Flying Timko are going to be underneath, so you got to be wary of that if Baka and Pars do cut back, or if Flying Timko continue to move underneath. Does look like they are moving on over towards the other side. They might run into Baka and Pars here. Or did they already leave? Are they still underneath? Yeah, they already left. Okay, not too bad. Back up here to where we might see the fight grade break down. Yeah, he's uncontested specs, or would be watching them a little bit more. They were contested to start the day. We watched it, and then the team left. When are we lurking over? Come on now. Oh, he sees him. He sees him. Ooh, they can't move over to the game. They can't. They can't move over and get the game. They almost have. They have to give it up unless they're gonna fight. Check over here. Xenon and Velo. They switch drop spots yet again. They go over to the Frigid Fortress this time around, where you got Salco and Yumi possibly falling for the lurk. Oh, no. Salco gets the ramp in. How did he survive on... Oh, 7 HP. He doesn't survive. That's how. Oh, my gosh. Yumi, they get lurked on in this next game, and it does look like Salco is going to go down. Velo and Xenon are on the board! I told you guys. I guaranteed it. They were going to get the points. I guaranteed it. I don't guarantee very many things. That's one. Who are they lurking on right now? Where is that positioned at? Down underneath. Is he going to fall for it and try to farm that up? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Xeno, no! No! Goes right above. Peepotron's moving in, trying to go ahead and farm his way down. Starting with the metal. There is going to be a chest underneath. Oh, no. Does he spot it out at all? Does he spot it out? Does he drop for the chest? Oh, they did. Oh, my God. He doesn't spot it out in time. Good damage there. Zuki's nowhere in sight. He's trying to close the gap as fast as possible. Xenon somehow switches places. Almost ends up on the other side of the box before he falls as well. Oh, my gosh. These lurks are getting real. Oh, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Not another one. Not another one, right? Oh, they're following. They're following. They're following. Oh, my. They are following. Oh no, they are. Oh, okay, so that's not bad. That's not bad. That's literally best case scenario almost. Best case scenario. Oh, but they hear the shots. These guys hear the shots at the side of Wonky Land. They're going to peek over and look. What is all that noise? Oh, and bro, please don't break some hearts right now, dude. Don't let me tell you. Yo, Keybinds, thank you for the bits, my brother. Lurking around. They know one team went there. They heard the shots. They're just trying to go ahead and lurk. Zuki's still down. Evolved in Peepotron, looking for where he's at. Does look like they finally figured out what direction he's in, but he's going to instantly use the shockwave to try to get away. Shield gone in the blink of an eye, but that's a win right there for Peepo and Evolved. Don't have to continue on the chase. 100 plus damage without taking any. Not bad. Check on the leaderboard right now. Kanata and Vic already rotating out of Sandy Strip, immediately going towards the center of the zone. Chris and Zyro. Chris clutching up the off-spawn fight. Chris and Zyro have played in 2 games today. They won both of those games. The other 2 games, they lost off-spawn. So now, this is the 3rd game they won off-spawn. You got to imagine, history says they make it off-spawn, they win games. They could take first place back here. Yumi still by himself. You saw him rotate all the way from the Frigid Fortress area, having to go to Painted Palms, but at least we will see Salco back in the game. B-Dog in minute. Early surge. They got the down onto pars. Unfortunately, though, they were unable to clean it up. B-Dog goes for some early damage. He gets tagged up. 93. Just like that. Her and an alien, Dante. Her and an alien. I don't really know who the alien guy is, but... Taking that whole side of the mountain. It does center up, though, so Dark Dominion is going to be where teams need to be. Already got teams rotating out of Wonky Land. It does look like Choppa and Stu are going to be able to hold that one on their own. Central and Purple off on the side. Let's go and check out Youngin and Hilly. Youngin, 12 elimination victory royale. Alien is Gojo. Well, who is Gojo? He's Tick. Okay. I think I've seen that name before. I think. trying to get in the zone right now. We got X-Pawn and Doxy in from the south. Susie and Gabix are there, so they got to watch out. 84 players left alive. I feel like this game's moving a little bit slower than some of the past games. Baka gets another one onto Snevy, though. That's over here, back at Dark Dominion. They get their get back. Snevy and Dark are the ones who got the elimination early on in that last game. Jacob, do you know how NA East went? Well, NA East was fire, bro. You should have seen it, bro. They took the whole server down. They put everybody into one region on Central for a little bit. It was crazy. It was crazy. You should have seen it. Okay, now who's the other team we were looking at over here? Doxy and X-Pawn. They were fighting Susie and Gabix. Yeah, Fran, I don't know. I don't know the intricacies, you know? Chat knows, apparently. I don't. The fifth is what I plead. One's disengaging out. X-Pawn is leaving Doxy out to dry? I was gonna say, I can't believe he just left him like that. Shockwaves up, over. Doesn't want to get stuck in a bad fight. Edge of zone by New Sanctuary. So I do agree with this. Get out while you can. Ryan Tron made it in. Let's go ahead and check out. I was trying to look at Source. There we go. Source in school. 126 so far. Started the tournament off good. Slowly but surely fizzled out from there. This is game 5. Shifty. Is Yumi top 3? No, but they're close. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, I lied. They are. I lied. Don't believe anything I say, I guess. On the south side of Battlewood, Wildcard. Ty is going to be there on the other side. And it does look like we're moving down towards Battlewood Boulevard. So, for the most part, outside of maybe this edge here, this mountain here, and this mountain here, mostly flat lands, even ground for a lot of the teams. Even ground. What's Heavenly KO with the sub? Thank you so much. Hopefully you're enjoying today's stream. Hopefully you enjoyed Central. I just aim to entertain, you know. Even if it's boring, I want people to look back and say, yeah, but that commentary was fire. Dude, I think X-Pawn is cool, bro. Me and him almost played Arc Raiders before. Check out Ryan Tron. Ryan Tron joins the stream a little bit. Yeah, it was a good time. Plays in the game, plays in ranked. 72 points so far. I do believe they missed out on game 1 too. The food, Penta, heck yeah, dude. The food. X-Pawn's still stuck on the outside. Kanata's already in zone. Heisen is there. Let's check out Scissor and Blood Gangsta. Lurking in the bush. Just north of Battlewood. Alright, let's try to find somebody who's below the damage threshold. And we found him. Instantly. If school qual land, I have to pick him up again. I mean, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want, but... 73 below. They're going to have to fight School and Source or Blood Gangster and Scissor. The 73 below. You have 2 splashes, a fizz, pizza, and minis. You're not out. Oh, not out healing this. Hiding at the top of the building. School tries to go ahead and fire the first shot off onto Ty. Misses that one. And Ty does a good job of firing back. Not going to get him above the damage threshold by any means. But definitely going to inch them closer and closer to it. Not necessarily being a worry. There goes a missed opportunity there by School. Flash. Just mere inches dodging that shot. Ty trying to make sure to grab the other angle. 44 below is still 44 below. Why does Click Speeder not just... Does it click his first round? Bro, you can't play on 2 regions. Do you watch Fortnite? $129 and below. It's getting harder and harder. But right there is a good opportunity there on the Source. Steals the wall. They get it back. And it's a far pull for this zone, too. So if you're below the damage on this one, it's now activated. Oh, I find it becoming more and more improbable that Flash and Ty are going to make it out of this alive. More and more probable. 107. They do got the pizzas. That's only going to do so much for your game. Scissor Blood Gangs to make it out. 31. Still below the damage threshold, though. One more team still nearby. That's Source. That's School. Oh, they saw. Oh, no. Oh, no. Flash. No. He canceled the pizza. He canceled the pizza. Flash canceled the pizza. Goes down to Storms. Oh, no. Oh, no. Ty. No. Should have just went to zone. Should have just went to zone. Yumi's down again. Vert and Echo re-get the elimination. Salco can no longer stay there. So they're going to have to rotate on out. Back on board Baka and Pars, though. Yeah, that was not good at all. Zuki's, ooh. Zeno and Zuki's get eliminated. Baka, man, that's what I want to see. I want to see Baka start to heat up right here. If Baka's firing off on all cylinders, they got a chance to come back. 60's a rat gun at 136, 124 above the damage threshold. We got Centro, we got Purple, only 10 above. You can see why they're being persistent on trying to get damage onto Source and School. Caesar and Jules are right next by, but so is Scissor and Blood Gangsta as well. And another far pull. Back-to-back max pulls for the whole south side of the map. We're going to have to take a long time here trying to make their way in. Kanata and Victor V barely above the damage threshold, doing just enough so where they don't have to worry about Storm Surge, but it's still in the back of their mind. 32 teams, or I should say players, need to go down before Storm Surge turns off. Victor V gets cut a little short on his rotation. Kanata as well. They get tagged up. 124. Falling a little bit further and further, but they're just outside the actual edge of the zone. Victor V gets tagged up again, trying to make his way in. Even with the shockwave, no rotation can be perfect. 90 above. Instantly, Victor V goes on the lookout. Trying to find some damage here. Looking towards the left. Hezi, Virus. They're the ones taking a lot of the focus, but other players get damage, which means they instantly box up. Xenon and Velo on the outside. Keen can be spotted out as well. Kanata, Victor V land a couple of shots there. Trying to build the cushion for Storm Surge. They look to the back, see Caesar, Jules. Remember, in game one, it was Jules that took down Kanata and forced Victor V to play as a solo. He clutched up like 50 points as a solo, but that's not the point. Epic Well does get 2 here for a moment. We should just do this right now. Look around. Makes it easier to find a bunch of teams on this edge outside of the map, though. Trying to stack their way in on this side. We got Dustin, Fly, Timco, Blink, and Fuzz being the first teams to go up on the high ground. Might be early here in this 6th zone, but anything can still happen. Kind of see how stacked that side is. Pars continuously looking on the backside of the zone. School trying to heal. He's trying to make his way in, but Source is far behind. They cannot work together as a team. One's going to get knocked. Victor V getting some damage. Larko's getting damaged. Pars getting damaged. 3 different teams at least looking in that direction to get damage. Arzabaka instantly the zone pulls. They shockwave over. Trade shots. But that's Zyro and Chris that are going to be on the other side. You got to watch out. 2 heavy hitters in this game. They can end the fight in the blink of an eye. So Pars, Baka, you see them not necessarily taking the risk here. Seeing the shots come from the backside of the zone. They probably spotted them eyeing up that shockwave play. They're trying to break through the builds as they narrowly escape. But they are so far ahead of the damage threshold. They don't necessarily have to worry about little chip shots there trying to bring them down. Pump and Epic Well trying to have a resurgence here in this game. Contested off spawn. Game after game after game. Even players from a different POI, third party, taking them down off spawn. 74 points. I don't think anybody would expect them to be in that position on the leaderboard, but hey, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. In this good, okay. I didn't know that. Learned something new about Baka. Chris goes down. Chris is now down. First place is looking like it's actually second place here. Kanata and Victor V are going to be in first place. It's the first time we're seeing, oh my god, I was going to say outside of off spawn, Zyro and them go down. His first place is certainly open for grabs, and that cushion in the top 3 is now going to be alleviated. Ryan Tron by himself, 225 below the damage threshold though. Lurking around, Vanilla and Haju's up above. He's trying to spray the bottom of those covers, getting anything to bleed through. Whole nother team, Hearn and Baby are on the other side. Alien trying to get that elimination. They at least clean up one, not able to get both, as Ryan Tron is now taking active surge in this game. 182 below, essentially 1 full elimination from getting above that damage threshold. 6 shockwaves. He does have the fizz, instantly drops that one down, ready to wait. Not trying to get too desperate here. Going after Surge. Peeking through the cone, trying to see and feel where all the players are going to come from. Some over the builds, some through. But he's taking tick after tick, using that fizz effect to make it from point A to point B as fast as possible. He's not going to one-hop it to the zone by any means, but he tries to stop and pop the big pot, but he gets targeted out. Sprayed at by somebody else. That's going to slow his roll just a little bit. The zone is now going to push him out. There's only so much he's going to be able to get out of that fizz before he has to go. The shockwave to the top of the box, making sure he doesn't take too much air in this game as he gets to the front side of the zone yet again. Trying to make sure that he's off of that low ground. That's where a lot of the chaos does ensue, but for Minute and B-Dog, they need the chaos to happen right now. They need somebody to lose focus so that way they can try to charge into the box unannounced, catch him off guard. Hilly, Young, and they're that team. One makes it into the box. Minute, I think he was able to get the down onto Hilly. A quick cleanup and a much-needed elimination for Minute and B-Dog. The resources were absolutely necessary, having those. No more shockwaves, though, so they're not going to find it easy to get to the front side of zone. But Minute finds at least one. That's the only blessing they're going to get here in this game, but they quickly use it to get inside of the zone. Not necessarily the front. They're letting it open up, building, and giving them a little bit of space to work with. So for B-Dog at 194, they're trying to catch up and keep on pace with the top 3. For NA West, those are the amount of spots up for grabs for the Major 1 Summit land. And for B-Dog and Minute, they fell behind the curve in play-ins and in heats, but they're picking up the pace here when it matters most in the finals. And they spot a solo in the backside. They're trying to get the pre-edits in. That's Victor V by himself. Not sure if he's actually a solo or not. Don't know where Kanata's at, but it's in fact going to be true. Victor V once again as a solo. Almost deja vu here of game number 1, but he's getting pressed from up above. Has to watch out from Jules down below. He gets the cutback in the zone, so a little bit of pressure alleviated, but only for so long. There goes Caesar. Jules trying to break into the box, and they get the elimination. First and second place have been eliminated out of this game. Now it's really an opportunity for anybody to try to close that gap, particularly Minute and B-Dog. Another elimination there, 4 more points, 9 more teams left in this game. Got 3 different solos running around, trying to go ahead and farm as much as possible. You can see they have the bare minimum when it comes into materials. Got Choppa and Stu up above. Epic Well and Pump still left in this game. 120 points and counting. Remember, they need a big performance to close out the day if they have any hope at winning this tournament. They have any chance to stay in the top 3 for that Summit land. The only chance these teams have to get to land here is through the 12 games this weekend. And for right now, for Pump and Epic Well, with the little builds they do have left, they're ready for any and all challenges that do come their way. Trying to recycle builds, break it on the other end, peek when they have to. Youngin goes down. Pump's going to be the sacrifice, going out, trying to get the builds. He gets only the siphon mats from that. At least it's something. Instead of giving it to Epic Well, he's going to be the one leading the chart. But Epic Well gets caught out of position by Blood Gangsta and SZA, leaving a lot of pressure here onto Pump by himself. But he's definitely picking up the pace here, especially after going down in 50th place in that last game. You even got Baka and Pars running wild down below. They're starting their med kits just a little bit early, staggering themselves outside of zone. Only chance might they have to try to get inside and make a play, but they peek on the build, try to edit, landing the shots on a B-Dog and Minute, and that's another team in the top 3 that has been eliminated. Pars tries to make it up the side of the mountain. He falls short. 2 solos now running around against Jules and CZR. They made slow rotations throughout the game, and it's finally working out. 100 points and counting. Pars takes himself out, doesn't give up any points to anybody else. That might be good, but now Baka's going to be left by himself. He gets taken out. Stu gets the elimination, steals that one away from Jules and Caesar. 2v1 situation, though. I'm not sure what kind of trick Stu has up his sleeve, but for now, it does look like Caesar and Jules are going to stay hip to hip, close by in the same box. taking it down to the wire. Doesn't want to risk making a mistake. There goes Stu dropping down. No builds. Tries to go ahead and catch anybody by surprise, but it's not going to work. He's going to fall. Jules and Caesar. 6 elims and a victory royale to hopefully move up the leaderboard. My favorite emote. My favorite emote. I'm just going to let it play. Woo! I'm leaving the song. This is the best emote in the game, dude. Victor V and Kanata, though, extend their lead. Another Victor V moment here in the tournament on NA West. Kanata going down. Victor V forced to clutch up. And now they have a 42-point lead. Chris and Zyro able to make it off spawn, but going down in 29th place. 3 elims, only 12 points for that game. But they have a 2-point lead over Minute and B-Dog, who went down 4th place, 2 eliminations. Making sure to stay inside of the top 3. Hilly and Youngin, though. Hilly and Youngin, a 12 elimination first in game 2. 13th and 49th, and now they finally back it up with a 7th. Yumi and Sauko. They're catching fire as well. Baka and Pars, 3rd place. They essentially have 2 good games, and they're in top 6. Baka and Pars. Who asked me a question? Hockey, you think I qualify? I do think they have a chance too. Xpon and Doxy have one as well. They're tied at 176, but they lose out on the tiebreaker due to average eliminations, where Baka and Pars have 5 more elims, bringing up their average. We have Evolved and Peepotron at 172, Bocro's Insane at 162, and then Blood Gangsta and Scissor at 154. Bro, I have a spare guest room. If Ozzy wants to come over, I have a spare room. He can bring the entire family too. We have the loft. We have the spare room. We can set up the playpen, and then me and Ozzy could just be in the room running wild, casting. You know what I'm saying? A Victor V victory. Hey, you can make it before day 2, Ozzy. There's no excuses. You can make it. If it's 14 hours, you'll be here by 11 a.m., dude. You might miss EU, but you'll be here by 11 a.m. Let's check out. We checked out the leaderboard already. Yes, we did. Haza, Lohan, Cops and Suds, Wildcard Flash, and Ty. At least we got points, dude. That's all that matters. They made finals. So many teams didn't. And I always say it really all depends on how you look at it. I'm a firm believer you should be proud you made finals, even if you get last, because there are so many people that never see an FNCS finals in their career. You know what I'm saying?
If you smell
What the?
rock,
Yo, Kiddo! Thank you so much for the sub. 336 gifted subs, bro. Are there any surprises now? Where's Epic and Pump at? Epic and Pump rising up too. Epic and Pump are rising up. Essentially have 2 good games as well. A 5th and a 9th. Outside of their 5th and 9th, they have 12 points. So they have 122 points in 2 games. You know? Jules and Caesar with the win. They essentially have most of their points in 1 game. They got some points here and then 8 points in their other games. So I think, you know, NA West, obviously, like, even look at them. 8th, 3rd, 22nd, and 12th. I think it's like, I don't know why. It's impossible to play perfect on this region. What's up, Blunt? Burned a lot of games, though. They did. I absolutely think anybody can bring it back as long as you... So what is that, 124? I think anybody can bring it back. Chris and Zyro are contested, so that's not guaranteed. Baka and Par is contested. You know, Scissor contested. Chris contested. So, I think anything can happen still. So, like, 550 we land qual. I have no idea, Chrono. I don't even like to make those guesses. Because I don't know. I don't think I recorded a replay for this last game, though. Let's see. Let's see if I did it right. Let's see. I don't think I did, though. 12 games this weekend, and for right now, for Pump and Epicwell, with the little builds they do have left. Was that last game? Did Epicwell and Pump make it into the top last game? I don't think so. They might have. Was that the last game? I'm not even sure. 650 points, wins grands, I think, chat. I think it's going to be under 600. Right now, they get a game, 3 something. Boom, 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 boom. No, it might be 600. You're right. It might be 600. Less than 7. Rock on parts, spin the goats. Packed, ready for Germany. Let's go. Hope we don't pack too soon, though. One more game, though. Do you stream on email? Let's see if the code is up. Let's see if the code is up. Not yet. A little too early. Will this affect Big Bird? I think so. Do you stream on Ring doorbell camera? Honestly, you guys want to see my Ring doorbell camera? You know what I'm saying? What's up, Zert? Yo, thank you for playing Reload with me, Zert. Thank you. Just trying out the new keyboard. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what replay this is. If this is not last game, I'm sorry. If this is last game. 12 games this weekend, and for right now, for Pump and Epicwell, with the little builds they do have left, they're ready for any and all challenges that do come their way. Trying to recycle builds, break it on the other end, peak when they have to. Youngin goes down. Pump's going to be the sacrifice, going out, trying to get the builds. He gets only the siphon mats from that. At least it's something. Instead of giving it to Epicwell, he's going to be the one leading the chart. But Epicwell gets caught out of position by Blood Gangsta and SZA, leaving a lot of pressure here onto Pump by himself. But he's definitely picking up the pace here, especially after going down in 50th place in that last game. You even got Baka and Pars running wild down below. They're starting their med kits just a little bit early, staggering themselves outside of zone. Only chance might they have to try to get inside and make a play, but they peek on the builds, try to edit, landing the shots on a B-Dog and Minute, and that's another team in the top 3 that has been eliminated. Pars tries to make it up the side of the mountain. He falls short. 2 solos now running around against Jules and CZR. They made slow rotations throughout the game, and it's finally working out. 100 points and counting. Pars takes himself out, doesn't give up any points to anybody else. That might be good, but now Baka's going to be left by himself. He gets taken out. Stu gets the elimination, steals that one away from Jules and Caesar. 2v1 situation, though. I'm not sure what kind of trick Stu has up his sleeve, but for now, it does look like Caesar and Jules are going to stay hip to hip, close by in the same box. Taking it down to the wire, doesn't want to risk making a mistake. There goes Stu dropping down, no builds, tries to go ahead and catch anybody by surprise, but it's not going to work. He's going to fall. Jules and Caesar, 6 elims and a victory royale to hopefully... Yeah, code is early. Yeah, no, I know it's early. It's early. I always get thrown off by the timing in finals because there's longer breaks from what I know in finals than in regular cups. It's good, Dev. I'm still not used to it. Like, sometimes I be opening my map. Like, you notice I'll open my map here. It's just because the keys are sensitive. I'm not used to that. No, Zer, I was just saying thank you for playing Reload with me. I was just saying thank you for playing some NA West Reload with me. Predictions? Bro, what is up with my Fortnite tracker? This thing is like great. Okay. Try to refresh it. Dude, you're telling me, dude. It works when it wants to.
Do you listen to... Bro, Brandon, I honestly, I find out... I feel like you're just a troll, dude. If you want to have a genuine conversation about what I like and don't like, we can have that conversation. Alright, bus path means we got Epic Whale off spawn. Epic Whale off spawn. Where are we at? We'll switch around after this. Burke, I have no idea. You think Peter Polly can make a comeback? Yes. They're like, even like Veno and Curve, like through straight elims, they can make a comeback. Uh-oh. Definitely going to be an interesting fight. Pump gets one. Epic Whale stuck without anything. Trying to go over the top. Dodges a couple of shots. Has at least 2 guns. I know he's going to try to give one to Epic. You would imagine so. But he's able to find one of his own. Barrel's going down on the other side. Nice burst by Pump. Getting Alien down just a sliver of HP. Even with those chug barrels. Ooh, they're going to beat him to all the important minigame stuff, too. Might be a prolonged fight out towards the outside. Sandy Strip contested. So we're going to go and take a look. Whoa, we're now triple contested at Dark Dominion. We'll go ahead and take a look right back on over, so don't worry about that. Let's see who won this fight. Retro and Phoenix now. Trade off, winning their fight. Let's quickly take a look at the 50-50 real quick. Ring of Power, that doesn't mean anything, because if 20 of them boycotted, somebody's still going to queue and win. Run straight in. Phoenix is able to get 1 and 2 straight eliminations there. Not bad, not bad, not bad. They're still looking all right. Riptide's uncontested now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. That's how you save it right there. He's trying to get the cleanup for the materials. Gets it in time. Snevy gets the wall and the shot in to take down Pars and Baka. They literally go from having a bad game to having a good game to having a bad game to having a good game to having a... Like, it's just back and forth for Baka and Pars. Still think it's not over just yet. Anything could still happen. The problem is, like, there's so many first-time finalists, like, it's just not gonna work. Uh-oh, Tubbs down below. Source trying to go on the offensive. I want to see School maybe try to get in the box. They do have them separated down below, but there's no real advantage just yet, so they are going to try to jump off. Maybe they revisit this fight a little bit later. But for now, it is what it is. They're just going to go ahead and try to disengage off. We got Icy and Compton on one side. Sane and Bow Crows are getting lurked on here. They're going to try to go for a quick 3-2-1 on the back guy. And honestly, they didn't hit a single shot. They used the Fizz. They try to go on over to Key. They had some quick shots onto Bow Crows. Bro didn't hit a shot and still keyed over. That's what you call confidence right there. That's what you call confidence. Sane landing some good damage onto Compton. It goes right back to Icy, stuck underneath the stairs. Cut off on the other side. Luckily for them, they still have builds. Compton up above. All the heals, though, are going to be on to Icy. Outside of the pizza, Compton has no choice but to bring out quick. Something like that, Burke. Triple con. I have no idea, kiddo. Snowy, I didn't see every single game of EU. But you know what? You ask me that tomorrow, I will do research like no other. Compton near the top of the leaderboard. Still got Kanata with their 40-point lead, uncontested. So if we don't watch Kanata in these like first 2 zones, it's because he's uncontested and just farming up at Sandy.
But we will go to the top of the leaderboard, check them out. B-Dog and Minute, check out the loot real quick, top of the mountain. Just like Visuals and Braids, they don't really have to move or do too much. Kanata and Vic, decent loadout. Uncontested Sandy. Team looking down the leaderboard, Youngin and Hilly over towards Humble Hills. They go ahead and loot the POI already and start to rotate on out towards the top side of that mountain. And then we got Yumi and Sauko at 190 points. Rotating from Frigid Fortress all the way towards the north. So thanks, Six Main. Alright, back of the map. Nothing really to worry about. Epic Well, them do get wonky. I wouldn't say uncontested, but essentially uncontested now that Hearn and them are rotated out of the zone. Top 3 qual on this region, broski. Top 3. Starting their build up at the top of the wheel. They're not in a rush to make any moves here, so I don't necessarily disagree. Ryan Tron trying to take the south side of the mountain, where B-Dog typically does set up. And then we got Xenon and Velo here. Off on the side, rotating in the divot. Blink and Fuzz just on the other side. I don't think either one of these teams kind of spotted out each other yet, so this could lead into an interesting situation, but it may be Fuzz spotted out Xenon there at the last second. Definitely spotted out Velo. Oh my god. What? 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 0 to 100. Blink must have hit most of those, bro. He got fried. Probably not Specs. Probably go eat. Enjoy the rest of the night. Probably stay on longer tomorrow. Mez making it in. 142. Still in contention of the top 3 spot right now. Source and School making it out of Riptides. From Battlewood to Riptides, you can see they're just on the hunt for Surge. Compton and Icy making it out of Riptides. Looking like they're rotating towards the south, but they got to be careful. Bocrow's Insane were there. Almost looks like they're just following them. Oh my god. Satan had no choice but to leave. Now Source and them here. Yeah, Hatred. Yeah, we watched a few of it. They did outspawn twice, or 3 times. I think it's 3 and 3. I think it's 3 and 3. Kanata and Vic on this region. 100% the faves. At Sandy Strip, 268 points. Already have a 40 or 50 or so point gap. They went from being contested in the first 2 games to now uncontested. Brandon, now there's a question I can get behind. You know what I'm saying? I do think they're going to win. Raise and Monk, 136. Not sure if they got pushed off the... Yep, they did not know the team was there. Caden and Dustin. Kind of see them lurking in the minimap. Dustin gets tagged up by Monk. Does a good job of alleviating that pressure and making sure that, hey, Raze might have gotten tagged up, which is a negative for Storm Surge, but Monk gets the damage back. Good damage onto Dustin, too. Fresh off the reboot here. I don't know if it's Darky or Eric's. They're trying to take advantage of either low HP, no utility. From the bottom up. Does look like he's holding on. Barely enough builds here to keep that pressure from coming into the same box. Slixies popping to pop the pizza. He takes a big amount of damage there. Having to slow things down as Ratgun continues to lurk. Finds the opportunity there. Slixie's on the other side. Closes out Darky, and they get a full-on wipe over here outside of Painted Palms. Phoenix is Connie Squibbly. It depends on the bus path, Bert. It depends on the bus path. So we want to see Pipotron towards the north. Retro's there. Does look like another fight's going to be breaking down over towards the south.
Who did you tell me to look at? Illy and Youngin. Illy's all right. 193. Hezi and Virus, 128. Then we got Choppa and Stu, top side of the map from bandages to med kits. If they know they're going to overstay their welcome out here, they're just trying to get the most out of what they actually have. Got Epic Well and Pump still in Wonky Land, but in comes Hearn and Alien again. What the replay settings that you have? I have no idea, dude. I'll be 100% honest. I just turn it on. I have no idea, dude, Dev. If you're looking for a particular setting, I think I'm on Direct 12, maybe. Uh-oh. I would say I did Alien or Hearn spot him out, but no, they're just trying to break the builds over towards the mending machine. Oh, we going for the 8 points here. Do they see them on the other side? Oh, sprays in. Epic Well takes over 100 damage just like that. Probably all the surge they got in this game gone in the blink of an eye. Oh, you probably have to go to, like, I'll show you at the start of next game. If you're still in here, I'll show you at the start of next game. But you have to go in the settings and put it on, like, broadcast mode. In your replay. It's in one of the settings. I just don't want to spoil the timeline. Yumi and Sauko spotted out Epic Well. Oof. This is not going to be a fun game for Epic Well and Pump. This is not going to be a fun game from here on out. There's no next game. Well, I'll show you soon. Thank you for reminding me. $189 still above. I'm a little surprised here. They did get early damage though, so maybe I shouldn't be as surprised. Jules, they're waiting to use that big launch pad. Epic Well and Pump using theirs. Trying to take a look on the other side of the map where it seems like a scuffle is going down over towards Latte Landing. Evolve takes a big shot, eventually going down. Bad edit and peek on that wall. Pipo's by himself trying to get the cleanup. Nose Blizzard is just a sliver of HP away of going down, trying to get the get back for his teammate. But no, even on his sliver of HP, Blizzard still somehow comes out with the win. And his last shotgun bullet. Proud. It's just because I don't want to spoil it for myself. But since he got the elim, you go right here. No, you don't go right there. I'm gonna be honest with you. Broadcast. Just for you, brother. Just for you. So Latte is now being taken. Let's go ahead and take a look at the top half of the leaderboard right now. Victor V and Kanata. And look at second place is down. Obviously, it's only a 2-point gap. But for Victor V and Kanata, this is a big game right here. They go down early, let's say outside of the top 15. There's a chance for second place. Not necessarily to overtake them on the leaderboard, but close that gap going in tomorrow. If they end up clutching in the top 8 or better, it just wide opens the gap to where Victor V and Kanata have maybe a 1 to 2 game cushion to where they can go down. They can fall off spawn with very little points and still end up in first place here. Ooh, big damage on the Kanata. Trying to go up the side of the mountain here. Might be a little ill-advised, but a couple of big pods here. Means they're going to easily be able to kind of regenerate shield. Put themselves in a position here. And maybe fire back and get damage. Victor V extends off the ledge. Just trying to see where those shots initially came from. Looking at the builds in the distance. He's going to connect with a couple of shots. Trying to build that Storm Surge back on up. 182 above. Let's check out B-Dog and Minute when it comes to Storm Surge. 333. Already inside of the zone, so far less to worry about than Kanata and Victor V, that's for sure. Youngin and Hilly, they're going to be 14 below. I think Epic Rush land on Victor V. It's not going to work, buddy. Fran, does that bother you? I don't even know if it's gone. I can't see that. 60 below. Yeah, Whale is still up for now. 4 now. They're above the damage threshold, trying to make it out of Wonky still. But out of everybody at the top half of the leaderboard, this is the team that is below the damage threshold in the 5th zone relatively early on. 25 below. Kanata, Victor B, they make their way on. Oh my god, what? That has to be replay mode, right? Why do you drop him the shockwaves? Oh, 1 each? Okay.
Thanks for the settings, brother.
Oh, you're welcome, brother. You didn't have to give 100 bits. It's just, I'm amazed by that aim right now. Hilly is not missing. Hilly is not missing right now. He had a little bit of help. Ryan Tron also shot at that guy, so that wasn't just Hilly by himself. Ryan Tron is the one who actually got the knock. Ryan Tron is the one who's going to get the 4 points per elimination. So it's not just Hilly there. You can see them less than 40 builds split between the two. They're going to need some sort of elimination here. Did a good job getting above the damage threshold, but all of that going to waste. Digital is now going ahead and moving in. Hilly's there as well. The wall gets edited on the other side. Luckily, Hilly's there to try to alleviate the pressure. Firing back onto Digital, getting him to back off for just a moment. How long will the pressure subside? Well, long enough for them to get the elimination, that's for sure. 233 above, even with the Siphon. They ran out of shockwaves outside of Youngin. So Hilly's going to go ahead and rotate in by himself. Youngin's going to use those shockwaves to catch up. But they run into Blood Gangsta. They run into SZA on the other side. 197 points and counting. But this cannot be where the journey ends. Top 32. There's still so more teams to go before placement points set in. But Youngin ran out of builds. He's stuck on top of enemy territory. There's no real way up. Unfortunate circumstances here for Youngin, leaving Hilly by himself. Oh, no. Caesar and Jules, winner of that last game. Victor V and Kanata. They've had some struggles making it through the end game here as a duo. Victor V taking some damage. Kanata taking some damage as well. Outside of the slices they have in the inventory. No more Slapperoni Pizza, but they do have the Med Bomb. That's going to heal them both. Gabix and Susie, they're moving underneath them. Seps and Wizzy, they're there as well. Zukis and Zeno going for a lurk. Backside of zone, trying to get damage. 10 teams need to go down for Sword Search. No longer a thing. They're just trying to make the pressure of this game that much easier for Zukis and Zeno. It's so necessary here. Good job. Damage onto Seps as he falls down. Cloney's there. Zukis gets the wall. Peeks in. Lands another shot. Just enough to get above the damage threshold. Even with the trade. Instead of overstaying his welcome, realizing they still have to make it up the side of the mountain for this zone, wasting no time. Zeno, though, falling behind. No shockwaves for him to use. Doesn't have that same luxury his teammate has. Trying to go up the side of this mountain. Still other teams in the path as well. Some behind him towards the right, some towards the left. Either way, he's going to have to do this one by himself because Zukis has went down trying to make it to zone. Sometimes that's the struggle you go through, trying to play it out as a solo. Tubbs knocking on the door on the other side. Not really wanting to answer it. Zeno blocking him out, but he bulldozes his way into the box either way. Gets the Elam, the Siphon trying to keep him alive. The builds, the bare minimum. Trying to get just towards the edge of the zone. He has a med kit. He has the Chug Splash. But does he have the time to use it? Players down below, Source and School, spotted him out. He's trying to regenerate that HP as quick as possible. They don't want to give him the timing to do so. Big moment here, top 20. Top 20 situation here. Victor V and Kanata. This is their moment to run away with FNCS on West to end the day here on NA West. B-Dog in Minute, though, definitely in the wings on that leaderboard. A couple places away, trying to slow them down. But for Victor V and Kanata, you see Victor V trying to turn back, put some pressure onto the other teams, allowing for Kanata to try to get that HP off. Top 18 situation here. Shockwave going out yet again. Instead of using it to push themselves forward in zone, they just want the effect to fly over. Even with the Fizz, that wasn't necessarily theirs. It's every opportunity that you get.
You try to run from it. Doxy going to be by himself. X-Spawn has just been eliminated out of this game. Phoenix and Retro fall. Epic Well is down as well. So many big names falling. This hill just proven to be nightmare for everybody in this game. As Doxy, fresh out of builds, tries to get out. He just gets out of the lobby altogether. It does look like Victor V has finally been taken down. Literally even Kanata by himself. Top 11 situation. Almost half of the placement points so far for Kanata. He goes down. That's going to be an opportunity. They got at least 30-something placement points in this game. So for Minute and B-Dog, they have a 50-point gap to close. If they win this game, that's 30-plus points in its own. So they need about 5 more eliminations from here on out to either tie or close the gap as long as possible. Sees a couple chances there on the other side. Connect with shots onto Hearn. Alien does go down. Rams is going to be the one that gets credit for that one. Peeking out towards the other side of the wall. Waiting for the last possible second. Splashes plus the miss. They're going to try to waterfall themselves down the side of that building. Not to take too many risks, but they're getting tagged up from above. No choice but to build. Even though they're not in zone just yet, they're getting pressured from underneath as well. Larco's and OC. Everybody's just wreaking havoc on the team that is in third place on the leaderboard. But they waterfall themselves down yet again, using the miss, using all of their resources to try to give themselves the best chances. Top 6 situation. 11 players left alive here. Only one player running around as solos, and that's going to be Hearn right above Minute and B-Dog. This zone goes right back up the side of the mountain. Back and forth we go, but Minute loses his teammate, gets another elimination, quickly builds the wall to protect himself. He's being forced outside of the zone, though. Quickly finds a way out and in. The zone is going to push him further and further inside of the zone, though. This is where he has no extra HP. It's really riding on a moment like this. He needs elims. He needs the win if he wants to try to overtake first place on the leaderboard. Kanata and Victor V going down means they give him hope. That hope has been snatched away by OC. Him and Larcos pick up a huge elimination, 4th one of the game so far, and put themselves in a top 3 situation. The only other team left alive is Purple and Centro. They get an elimination there. Much needed for Purple. He's getting the siphon. Now Centro is essentially playing solos on the high ground, waiting for his team to catch up, but Fuzz and Hearn go head to head. They take each other out, giving a free win to Centro and Purple. What kind of name is Purple, though? All right, so it was a 42-point lead going into that game, and now it's only a 30-point lead. Only a 30-point lead. So they cut it down by 12. Minute and B-Dog on 280. Chris and Zyro winning 3 off-spawn fights, a first, a first, and a 29th. Losing 3 off-spawn fights, 50, 49th, 48th. They're still in 3rd, though. Yumi and Sauko at 222, right there. The next one down for that top 3 summit spot. X-Pawn and Doxy, Hilly and Youngin, Susie and Gabix, Hits and Stu, Source and School, Baka and Pars for the top 10. Haju and Vanilla's, Evolved Peepo, Epic and Pump at 168, 13th place. Bocros and Sane, OC and Larcos, Ryan Tron and his teammate, Blood Gangsta and Scissor, Rams and Imp, Slixies and Raygun and Eric's and Darky, rounding out our top 20. Top 3 tomorrow. Top 3 make it into the summit land, and obviously first place wins FNCS on West. And so, it's definitely going to be a good one. Victor V and Kanata started the tournament off playing well, 8th, 3rd, 3rd, and then ended the day with 22nd, 12th, and 11th with 8 eliminations in a combined 3 games. Then you got Minute and B-Dog, who started the tournament off pretty well as well. 4th, 2nd, and 10th. They get lurked on. They get 40th place, and then back-to-back 4th place finishes. Minute and B-Dog have been so consistent in this tournament. I truly believe, Victor V, Kanata, Minute, and B-Dog could be locking up 2 of those 3 spots. Chris and Zyro, though, like we talked about then, Yumi and Sauko, 9th, 6th, 24th, and then a 3rd, 39th, and 14th. So kind of similar games for this first half of the day. Just start the second half of the day. X-Pawn and Doxy, though, best game is going to be a 5th place. They're still going to manage 5th place on the leaderboard, but this is where you start to separate yourself from a lot of those teams in the top side of the leaderboard. I agree, Ryu. 3 teams make land tomorrow. So I just want to say, you guys, from Central to NA West, I'm happy to be part of the Fortnite community. You know what I mean? being able to entertain and really put some hype behind some of these big moments. I want to thank you guys for being here today. Tomorrow we will be live again. We will be on the Fortnite broadcast, Casting Central, seeing who wins FNCS, what 13 teams make it in. And then we move on over to West, just like we did today. We figure out who wins FNCS on West. Is it going to be a first-time champion? And then we figure out what 3 teams make it to the Summit Land. So, thank you guys all for the subs, the bits. Hopefully, if you guys gave subs, bits, a follow, and spent your time here in this chat, in the stream in general, hopefully I made it worth it for you guys. You guys come back, whether you're here for a second or the entire stream. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to go ahead and, relax the rest of the night. Maybe grab a sandwich, maybe some chips, maybe a chicken sandwich. I don't know. But we will be live tomorrow and obviously tournaments thereafter. Just want to say much love from me to y'all. Make sure you guys, take care of your guys' mental health. Make sure you guys be a positive influence. You know what I mean? Be the person you would want your kids to look up to. You know what I'm saying? Pretend you have kids and you want them to look up to a role model. Be that person. But if you guys ever need anything, I'm always one message away. Discord is hard to get responses from me. So make sure you guys, if you guys want to, hit me up, send me a message or chat about Fortnite, Twitter is going to be the best place, or any one of those other socials. But I'll see you guys on the next one. You know what I'm saying? Adios. Much love. Bye. Have a beautiful night. Everybody have a beautiful night. Just make sure you guys eat a good dinner tonight. Don't go to bed hungry. Tomorrow, get your breakfast. Make sure you drink some water. Stay hydrated. No more left. I got a problem. But adios, y'all. Bye. Bye. I'm going to leave you guys with the replay. Last game of the day. 6th and final game. We got a victory royale. Have a wonderful night. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Beep, beep. As long as possible. Sees a couple chances there on the other side. Connects with shots onto Hearn. Alien does go down. Rams is going to be the one that gets credit for that one. Peeking out towards the other side of the wall. Waiting for the last possible second. Splashes plus the miss. They're going to try to waterfall themselves down the side of that building. Not to take too many risks, but they're getting tagged up from above. No choice but to build. Even though they're not in zone just yet. They're getting pressured from underneath as well. Larco's and OC. Everybody's just wreaking havoc on the team that is in 3rd place on the leaderboard. But they waterfall themselves down yet again. Using the miss, using all of their resources to try to give themselves the best chances. Top 6 situation. 11 players left alive here. Only 1 player running around as solos, and that's going to be Hearn right above Minute and B-Dog. This zone goes right back up the side of the mountain. Back and forth we go, but Minute loses his teammate, gets another elimination, quickly builds the wall to protect himself. He's being forced outside of the zone, though. Quickly finds a way out and in. The zone is going to push him further and further inside of the zone, though. This is where he has no extra HP. It's really riding on a moment like this. He needs elims. He needs the win if he wants to try to overtake 1st place on the leaderboard. Kanata and Victor V going down means they give him hope. That hope has been snatched away by OC. Him and Larcos pick up a huge elimination, 4th one of the game so far, and put themselves in a top 3 situation. The only other team left alive is Purple and Centro. They get an elimination there. Much needed for Purple. He's getting the siphon. Now Centro is essentially playing solos on the high ground.